Rip.
Da 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 da.
What's going on, guys?
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Yo Mama's Day.
Happy Yo Mama's Day. Your mama so fat. Da, 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 da.
Oh, no, hold on.
And we have a lag.
There we go.
Your mama so fat she had children who couldn't figure out how to do a live stream.
Your mama's so fat her blood type is red 40. I just made that up.
Red 40. Yeah, whatever the bug juice dye is they put in M&Ms, you know. Yeah, your mama so fat her blood type is Hershey syrup. You know. What was it? We were laughing about your mama jokes beforehand. I was like, and Nick had all the good ones. I was trying to remember them, but I think even back in the day, like I think you taught me all the yo mama jokes.
Oh, it was a big deal.
Yeah,
it was a big deal
back in the early 90s.
Yeah, the 90s.
Dude.
The 90s was the decade of your mama so fat jokes.
Yeah, well, especially the early 90s because that was the time of like early rap, you know?
Yeah.
Like before rap became like rap or hip hop, when it was kind of like fun, you know?
Oh yeah.
So like it was still kind of just like happy. You know,
it was
like
rap was happy.
Yeah. What was it? NWA hadn't come out yet, or NWA whatever. Like, you know, all the hardcore gangster rap. So like your mama jokes were like the thing of the playground.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
It was Nick said your mama's so fat she has to put on her belt with a boomerang.
Yeah, got to put her belt on with a boomerang.
Yeah. And then what was the other one?
The other one is if you know some. If anyone's watching this and you know some,
post your favorite your mama joke in the comments.
Put your favorite your mama joke in the comments. I like your mama's so fat when she walks around the house, she walks around the house.
She walks around the house. But then the other one, the third one you told me, I don't think I've ever actually heard before. I was thinking about it. Yeah, go.
Yeah, your mama's so fat people don't live with her; they live among her.
I'm 38. Nick you're 42?
43.
43, that's right. And nothing changes.
Oh, it never gets
what I'm saying. Yeah.
Funny is funny. It's just
it's the same thing as
you admit it or not.
Yeah. Nothing's changed in 30 years.
No.
You know. So it is Mother's Day.
Yeah.
So
happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day to all of you. Happy Mother's Day to Dee. Adam, if she's watching, and let's see. Oh yeah, let's see.
Oh, Adam's got a your mama joke. Here we go.
Yeah, we gotta put Adam's joke up.
Your mama's so old. Alarms went off when she stepped outside of the museum.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Oh,
thank you for that.
Yeah, and that really was. You know what? That was like our generation's early. Hey D, what's up? Welcome. Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day to you, D.
Man, she mailed out my the bookmarks and the birthday present for Cameron and the thing for on Audrey. And dude, I can't wait for those bookmarks to come out.
Oh yeah, I know.
They look killer.
Can't wait to see them.
Killer.
Can't wait to see them.
But your mama jokes were kind of like the early playground like rap battle.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like that was like the one-up game in elementary school.
Yeah.
You know, in middle school. It's like, you know, if you had to have a your mama joke.
I used to know so many.
There were. They're
many.
They're like Pollock jokes.
Yeah. That was kind of the precursor to your mama jokes, was the Pollock jokes.
Yeah. And those were awesome. Like
it was when like Pollock's blonde jokes.
Blonde jokes.
Your mama jokes.
And then your mama jokes.
Yeah.
Well, and our Uncle Ronnie, his wife, our Aunt Linda, she's Polish. And she is a lexicon of jokes.
Yeah.
Like she knows all of them and she thinks they're all hilarious.
Yeah.
Straight out of Warsaw. There's got to be like a gang sign for it. Like if you could do like a W and then like a swastika.
I think it's this. I think this is the
this. That's straight out of Warsaw. Straight out of Warsaw. And we're done.
Someone put.
Yeah, we're not even. Yeah, it's like not even YouTube. It's just the whole computer apparatus and everything. Like, you know, we just get totally zucked.
Someone knocks on my door, and it's somebody from YouTube. They walk to my garage and unplug my computer.
They just take it.
Just don't.
They just
take everything.
Yeah. So.
Oh, that's great.
Oh my god.
Oh, let's do our official intro.
Yeah.
So people know what's up.
I'm Jonathan.
I am Nick.
And we are the Gosslings, and we are a writers group. We are brothers, and we are a couple of indie authors and novelists who publish our books on Amazon and Audible, Kindle, and then I have my own special edition of the first book through Taurus Necros, which is pretty awesome. And we just do a live stream once a week. You know, almost come hell or high water. I really kind of didn't think we were going to do it this week. But you can probably count on one hand how many weeks we haven't been able to do this in the past, like, what, 9 months or so?
Well, yeah, I mean, most of the fingers on my hand represent when I had COVID. And that was in January.
Yeah, it's true,
and then since then, I think we only missed, I couldn't do Easter.
Yeah.
It was just Easter Sunday. And
there might have been one other one where you were out of town or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
But most of the time you've been able to make it.
Yeah, and it's raining. It's like pouring outside rain. It's been rainy all day, which is why I'm doing this now, because if it hadn't been, I did want to go and do something with my wife and kids. Yeah. But there's nothing to do.
There's nothing to do.
Raining.
Yeah.
So we just stayed in. She's like, yeah, it's fine. Do the live stream.
I was so happy, by the way, when I walked in and I saw her, like, literally just like in tank tops and sweatpants. I was like, that's exactly what you should be able to do on your birthday and on, like, if you're a mom, Mother's Day. Yeah. Or like if you're a dad on Father's Day. Yeah. If you just want to bomb around in, like, just like clothes that aren't even acceptable to go check the mail in.
Yeah, absolutely.
You should totally be able to do that.
No one's entitled to do that more than a mom.
Yeah.
They deserve it more than
maybe a dad. I don't know. Yeah.
Well, I'm not.
But it's Mother's Day.
Not
so
entitled, but I'm going to do it anyway.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know what's acceptable and what's not is the thing.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
Yeah. Can I go check the mail? I mean, I'm
Uncle Eddie outside emptying the thing into the sewer.
Yeah.
Just take out Merry Christmas and enter whatever.
Yeah, whatever holiday. Happy Father's Day. Yeah. So, and we do this. So we're pretty dedicated, and we do this once a week. And the format we've come up with is pretty solid, pretty airtight. Of course, we don't hold to it. We try to, like,
we hold to it. We just stretch it out forever.
We do, yeah, because it's fun. Honestly, we'd be doing this we have been doing this without the camera for the better part of a year and a half before, anyway. So nothing's really different. We're just kind of doing it for the public as opposed to just doing it over at my house or at a restaurant or something. And the great thing about this is we've been able to get Adam on. We've been able to get D on sometimes, not on the live stuff, but so it's been really cool getting Adam in there. And Adam Burrell is our narrator. He is our Audible narrator through ACX. So all the Heavenly Realms books are narrated by Adam, and he's English and he's amazing. And most of the Travelers League stuff. And did you get the link?
I did. It was fantastic.
Dude.
Adam surprised me with a free sample of a chapter that he read out of book 5 of the Travelers. He's read the whole book. It's available on Audible, but he put a sample chapter up on YouTube.
Like a promo.
And he threw a little music behind it too. It's so good.
It's
perfect. It's the best sample chapter. It really was great.
Yeah, but he's so good at it because, like, I was mentioning that to him. We were talking about that before. He was so fast about it. We were talking about that maybe, like, I don't know, Adam, correct me if I'm wrong. I think like Wednesday or Thursday. This whole month has been a blur, but I think we were talking about that pretty late in the week. And then I told him, like, well, you know, I'm off, like, for 3 days, so I'll, like, figure out some images to send you, you know, like some of my concept art, and you can interlace that with whatever, you know, and just read it. Never mentioning the music. And I didn't even get a chance to send any of that to him. That's how, like, professional Adam Burrell is. Yeah. Like, he just whipped all that stuff together. And, dude, like, the one for Travelers League is awesome because it's mostly What Do You Do with a Drunken Sailor? You know, the Drunken Sailor song. Yeah. But I think he has some other stuff in there, too. It's like yeah, it's really great. And it's it changes up towards the end, but it was a wonderful surprise, Adam. Thank you. That was really so great. It was so great. I love it.
I love it. He is officially the voice of the Travelers League, and the Travelers
Yeah.
League is a children's middle grade fantasy book series.
What would you call middle grade? Because most people outside of the writing community aren't.
Yeah, good question. It's generally 8 to 12-year-olds.
It's like
middle
Harry
grade.
Potter, right?
Yeah. It's like
Or
or
Narnia.
second grade up to sixth grade.
Yeah.
Somewhere in there.
Okay.
Second to sixth grade. Elementary school. Elementary grade
Yeah.
kids are middle
So
grade.
outside of Dr. Seuss and Berenstain Bears,
It's more along, and I'm not comparing myself with Roald Dahl,
Yeah.
but it's the same genre.
Yeah. Okay. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah,
Willy Wonka.
He's someone I just
Okay. Yeah, that's cool.
I adore that man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy's fantastic. Great writer. Probably my favorite children's writer.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he's
Not quite, Charles Dickens level of reading for children.
Right.
That misery comes later.
Yeah, right. What doesn't have to? There are cliff notes.
Yeah.
And movies.
Yeah, that's right.
Cliff notes and movies.
So,
Or the audiobook.
Yeah, that's right.
Man, I don't know. Listening to a Charles, I don't know.
If Adam read it.
What? Yeah, true. If Adam read it, it'd be fantastic. If Adam read it, it'd be fantastic.
Aside from the Pickwick
Papers. Yeah.
Aside from the Pickwick Papers, which Nick loves.
Well, and Christmas Carol.
And I've never
pretty
read.
good.
Yeah, Christmas Carol's good. It's a good morality tale. I'm pretty sure, like all the Charles Dickens books that I hate, I would give them a shot if Adam read them.
That's fair. Yeah, I would too.
Yeah,
I'd
give him a shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's Mr. Fox. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there are some. I mean, most of Dickens' works, and I love Charles Dickens. Most of Dickens' works though, like I couldn't even get through a movie of it. I couldn't even get through a movie of it without just being bored to death.
Yeah.
But there are some that are decent.
Yeah.
Some that are good. But definitely Christmas Carol. Definitely Pickwick Papers.
See Adam's comment there.
What? Where? What?
Go up one more.
This one?
Yeah.
What did Adam say?
We were
here?
talking about playground
Yeah, the
competition.
who can pee higher? Oh, you were talking about playground competition. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I had to. That's really funny. We never did that when I was in elementary school, but you know what? I mean, it would have been fun.
Yeah, we always did. We always did. Pee farther.
Yeah.
Whoever could pee farther.
The real trick is if you can stand facing away from the toilet and still make it in the toilet. That's how you know. That's the Chicago way. So. Anyways,
awesome.
So this is the live stream.
Yeah,
of,
welcome.
A couple writers, and we talk about writing. We talk about just funny stuff. We tell funny stories about ourselves. You know, it's really great. And Adam is our narrator, and he's basically the third Gosling. Only unofficial because we have not come up with official ceremony yet.
Yeah,
to kind of like do an induction.
Initiation's coming.
Yeah.
Brace yourself.
The ritual.
But
Put your hand in the
also,
box.
Yeah.
The gum jabbar.
I can just see Adam, just like in Prince of Thieves, the very beginning.
Yeah.
When he puts his hand on the chopping block.
Oh yeah.
And he looks. And Kevin Costner looks at the executioner and goes, "This is what English courage looks like."
This is English courage. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be good. That's
I
Adam.
could see that. Yeah.
He'd be fine.
Yeah.
It'd be fine.
Or like however they make a space marine. We should figure out. I should research how they make a space marine. Go with something. He needs a wax seal. We got to get to that in a second.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a second. Let's do our toast first.
Yeah.
We always start with a toast.
Yep.
Since we're starting out here.
So, are we still drinking?
It's a Knob Creek Rye. We're just
Knob Creek.
Yeah, Knob Creek Rye here.
Okay.
We're just finishing off what we began last week. Actually, I'm
surprised there's any left.
You should be.
Yeah. Suddenly I understand.
That should be a pretty good indicator of how it is.
Yeah.
That I didn't just plow through it.
Yeah. Well, that tells me how much writing was done.
Right.
I mean, look, if anything is the writer's fuel, it's bourbon.
Yeah.
It's whiskey. So
and coffee.
And coffee.
Yeah.
Gosh, coffee. Yeah.
Coffee flavored bourbon would be interesting. I could put those together, throw a little
coffee bouillon,
bacon flavor, like smoky bacon flavor stuff in there. Just a drop of maple.
Yeah.
I don't like it sweet. Just a. Oh, was that maple?
Yeah. Just
throw it all in there. Coffee, bacon, maple, and bourbon.
I think like coffee and whiskey, caffeine, and nicotine are like the oil, gasoline, and transmission fluid of a writer.
Yeah.
I really like, there are plenty of writers who do not rely or need or use any of that. But honestly, I mean, it's a trope to the point of being like an archetype.
Yeah. Well, Tim Ferriss put together a book called Daily Rituals.
Yeah.
And it's about all the different authors, artists, scientists through history that we all esteem, mostly authors.
Yeah.
And he talks about their daily ritual, their creative process, how they, and you're exactly right. It was really? Usually a combination of all of us. They all smoked, they all drank, they all were obsessed with coffee.
Yeah.
And then others were also obsessed with drugs or sex or whatever.
Yeah.
But definitely coffee.
Really?
Yeah. And in most cases they were heavy smokers and drinkers.
It's so interesting. I mean, Dad was like that.
Heavy smoker.
Yeah, and coffee.
Yeah.
They literally called him Larry Two Cups.
Yeah.
Because he would drink one black cup of coffee to fight the migraines, and then he had a chaser of loaded coffee with cream and sugar.
Lots of cream and sugar.
There are several images.
It was this color.
It was
really
literally
this color.
Irish paste.
Yeah.
Is as white as my forehead.
It's a shade.
Yeah, Irish paste. It's my underarms, Yeah, it really there are several images of Larry Goss that are burned in my brain, and one of them really is like his Mozart hair akimbo.
Yeah.
His bathrobe.
His bathrobe.
His blue bathrobe.
Yeah, blue. It was blue bathrobe.
And then 2 cups of coffee.
And he didn't have any pants on in his bathroom, so he sees bare legs, but only down to the point where at the top of his knee-high white socks started, stuck in his slippers. Yeah. But I remember him with the ball cap doing that.
Oh, yeah.
His ball cap.
Yeah.
And the hair something. He would get up and he would do this.
Yeah.
And you get a good scratch, and then it would just be like this for all morning.
Dude, like the apple does not fall far from the tree. I don't know about you, but there have been times where I have caught myself doing that.
Oh, yeah.
Where especially back when I didn't shave my head.
Yeah.
When I would grow my hair out, and I would just just flick it, and just like a little dinosaur throat.
Larry Two Cups.
Oh, Larry Two Cups.
Oh, Larry Two Cups. Yeah, and he used the same mugs. He had the very it was
Marriott
he would
mugs.
Make he would poach his eggs. He would do poached eggs.
What oh, that's right.
Yeah, that thing. That's just like his only if he ate breakfast, it would be poached eggs that he'd make for himself.
I forgot about that. Yeah, because that was one of the few things that was different. Like Dad liked poached eggs. I liked scrambled eggs. And I remember he wouldn't really ever eat eggs if I made them because I didn't know how to make poached eggs.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah. I still don't.
Man, I wish that's one of those things you wish you could roll back and show me how to do that.
Yeah, and then he didn't use any technology when he wrote.
Yeah,
it was an acoustic piano. It was a grand piano. He had the big yellow score paper.
Yep.
And a number 1 pencil. And I take that back. He did have an electric pencil sharpener.
Yeah.
And he had he had a Walkman.
Yeah.
And a set of headphones.
Yeah.
So there was some electronics, but I wouldn't call it
and that
wasn't digital technology.
No, and that was in the age of the rise of digital with Pro Tools.
Yeah, and everyone was in love with
obsessed.
all the new stuff, trying to learn it, spending all their time learning. And Dad was spending his time writing his music.
Old school carpenter, baby.
Yeah.
And you could tell how frustrated Dad was by how at night. Eventually, Mom forced Dad to get a small single bedroom studio apartment
just to write in
because he
should do that.
I know I've thought about it.
I do too. I think about it all the time.
But before then, late at night, when I remember trying to sleep and I would hear him playing the grand piano, writing, doing his stuff 10, 11 o'clock at night, and anytime he would go to sharpen the pencil, you would tell how he would play with his headphones on so he couldn't hear himself, but and then he'd screw up and he'd curse, and then you'd hear zzz, and then depending on how mad Dad was or frustrated was how hard he jammed the pencil into, so you would know how bad it was going depending on how slow the motor got, because it would go zzz,
the curse word never changed. The curse word never changed, and how and the way he would say it wouldn't change. Yeah, it was just the same way every time. But you could tell how frustrated he was by how much he would grind the pencil.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, the cursing never changed.
Yeah.
But the barometer was how slow he jammed the motor of the pencil sharpener by just
and it's the only dirty word I ever heard him use. Like he didn't say,
he didn't curse
even
a lot.
mildly dirty words. That was just when he was writing. That was like his one. It's his vice word.
Yeah, it really was.
Got to give it to him.
Dad was very selective with his vices, So, anyways, so in keeping with that, we obviously we're very, legacy tradition oriented.
Yep.
So we have a toast that we do every week, and you're welcome to do it with us. We lift our drinks, and it's kind of liturgical. One person starts it and says one half, and then the other person says the other half. So you're welcome to say the other half, almost like a mass kind of in a way. So do you go this time or do I go?
I think I go first this time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ready.
Grab your glasses. Take up the broken sword of your father.
And strike down the darkness. That's to you, Dad. It's so good. Dad wasn't a drinker either.
No.
Neither of our parents really were.
No.
No,
they were Southern Baptist. It was a sin to drink.
Yeah.
But you could smoke 2 packs a day.
Right. But even that was like, he was always like ducking out back of the church to do that. Mike Kyle was covering for him.
Yeah.
Like Mike Kyle was like Dad's guardian angel on the road.
Yeah.
In so many ways.
Great guy.
So,
well, thank you for joining us for our toast.
23 minutes in.
Yeah, 23 minutes in.
We're just getting started, baby.
Yeah. Before we go on to our typewriter one-offs, which we do every week.
Yeah.
Want to talk about week in review? What lies ahead?
Yeah, dude. I mean, like so much has gone on. The bookmarks, Adam's wife, mailed out the bookmarks for. She makes resin. Resin molds and sculptures, trays, glasses, dice cups, but she made bookmarks for each of the Heavenly Realms books, and man, they look awesome.
Yeah,
can't wait to get them in. And depending on how they look, I think I'll probably order a batch from them, and we'll do some sort of like promo or special edition. I talked to my marketing manager yesterday. We're pretty sure the next step is to go ahead and set up a website. We already own the domains. I already bought those. And we're going to set up, hopefully, maybe in the next few months, a website so that we can have just like a landing page, a repository, so people can buy the bookmarks, links to all of our books, all sorts of stuff like that. And so that's really exciting. Let's see. I think, Adam's sample chapter of Wayfarers is, he did the same thing for me that he did for you with Travelers League. Dude.
Yeah.
Like the music, and I told him, like, I don't know where apparently that music is just like public domain, but that I think he found it through YouTube. That's what it was. But it's got like this cool, like 70s Doctor Who, like spooky kind of Ralph Bakshi kind of thing going. Cool. And he did the same thing where he transitioned the music depending on the scene. Like, very good producer.
Yeah,
Adam's an amazing producer.
Yeah,
like,
he's a man of many talents.
Honestly, and it made me
surprising us,
dude. When it comes time to do the audiobook for the unabridged edition, I'm for sure gonna. If he can't do it, if he can't do the musical portion, I really want to reach out to like Mark Chadwick and see if he could orchestrate it.
Yeah.
Just do that, just like background synth music. It adds so much.
Big time. Big time.
Man, I mean, he blew me away with that. And both of those, yours and mine, are both just incredible. And he interlaced them with slides of like different covers and all sorts of stuff. I mean, he's awesome. So that was super killer. Thinking about doing a contest, a couple contests for this. This is the special edition of Empyrean Falling. This is the first Heavenly Realms book. And this is made by Taurus Necros, and it's hardcover. And it's awesome. It's got a map on the back that we collaborated on and custom made. It has a custom painted cover, and it has approximately 250 more pages of content. It's 50% larger than the regular version you get through Amazon, the paperback version. So I don't know exactly. We're going to finalize it tonight, and I'll make like an official announcement video. But I think what we're gonna do is what I'm leaning towards is if you subscribe to the Heavenly Realms channel, and then if you leave an Amazon review on any of the Heavenly Realms books, preferably a positive one, I don't know why you would bother otherwise, but who knows? There are tons of people out there. And then purchase this. This is available on taurusnecros.com, and it's $30. And $30 is like, that's a little expensive, but honestly, I think most hardback books are like
they are
$30 these days, anyways. And that really was like the cheapest we could make it.
Really,
this was not a cheap book for them to make.
Yeah.
It was pretty expensive, and but. I think if you subscribe for now, tentatively, the contest plan is you subscribe to Heavenly Realms YouTube channel so that you can watch our live streams, and then you leave an Amazon review, and then you buy the book. Then if you're willing to wait, because I'm going to have the publisher send me all the copies. I think we had talked about that. And I think what I'll do is probably for anybody who enters, if you buy the book, I'll sign it for you, make a personalized note for you. And then, but then we'll run the contest to the end of June. And then at the end of June, on July 4th, I think I'll announce a winner. And a winner will get maybe some other books, but most definitely a signed copy with a personalized note, and then also maybe a bookmark. I'm not quite sure. Like, we're going to kind of see how that works. And then also a typed up letter with arguably the coolest thing that
that's what happened with me this week
in forever. So that's everything that I have, and we're transitioning right into Nick's side of things.
Well, first of all, on the writing front, I wrote a couple more chapters for that book about Dad.
Oh, did you really?
Memoirs of Dad. And my one-off. Adam started the Hoppus Chronicles.
Oh, yeah? Sweet.
And I'm going into review phase of the first 15 minutes of that. And, of course, I had that wonderful surprise from Adam when he posted a sample of the Black Fox Book 5. Review. That was fantastic. I haven't done anything else online.
Really?
However, I did receive in the mail this new little thing.
Dude, this thing is amazing. We have been talking about this. This is what nerds
We've been wanting to do this. This is, upside down. This is a little box, and on the front there is this wax seal. Can I see the wax seal there? Shine the light. All right. And inside this amazing, I'm so excited about it. I've always wanted one of these.
Oh, this thing is so cool. Ever since,
so great.
What do you think it was? Like Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves?
Probably.
It's got to be, right? Like, Prince of Thieves has informed so much.
We have our own, the Gosslings Writers Group wax seal. Hot wax, seal the envelope.
Yeah. It's
got our logo on it. I can't hold, I mean, if I hold it close, you won't really be able to tell, but it's a broken sword.
Yeah.
It says,
it's the Goslings logo.
Yeah, it's the Goslings Writers Group. So great. That's tons of fun.
Isn't that awesome? Look at that. That's like a 1 3/8 inch diameter. Yeah. Is it brass?
Yeah, it's brass. Yeah.
And you can change the different sizes. What's the name of the website?
Punch people with it. Nostalgic Impressions.
Nostalgic Impressions.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it cost what? Like
about
almost
90.
like a 90, 95 bucks.
About 90 to get that.
Yeah.
To have it custom made
is super cool.
Yeah, I'm very excited about that. And the other thing, which I found a new typewriter, as you can see here.
By the way, these things, I knew it. These things are
you can swap out handles.
Swappable.
Yeah, he's got like custom turn wood handles and things. I wanted a brass handle just because
I like the brass one. The most gothic.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I wanted something that could also double as it's a tactical. It's tactical.
It is.
You can use it as a weapon.
Yeah, you can brain somebody with it.
This is also something I got this week in an Underwood. This isn't my new typewriter. It's not a portable, obviously. It's in perfect condition. It's a 1948 Underwood S. That's the model, 1948 Underwood S. And this thing is a beast. Like, check it out.
Gosh, look at that thing. Dude, that thing is a tank. That is a Goliath.
That's me. I'm sending a birthday note to Ike. And maybe
1948.
1948. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, here it comes. Here comes the bell. Oh wait, no, I got a ways to go. That's like Buddhist chimes.
That really is. That's got a
it's
weird.
So Buddhist. It's so Zen. Listen to this bell. Ready? Here it goes. Isn't that great? I'm excited about it. I'm excited about it. Yeah, this is just. I'm really excited about this. So this is typewriter number 4.
And tell the story about where you got it.
Oh, it's on Facebook Marketplace. I've been scouring for typewriters in my local area for several weeks, and I saw this one. It's always the first one that came up, and the guy wanted $125 for it. I was like, dang, that's a great deal. I'm gonna hang out and just see if anything else comes up. Nothing else came up.
Yeah.
And so I finally what? I'm gonna take a closer look at that. I click on it, and the guy selling it used to be my neighbor. He used to live 2 doors down from me. I know him personally. His kids and my kids played together. I'm like, I didn't know he had a typewriter. This guy. Fantastic. So
typewriter the whole time when you lived next to me, you were holding out?
Yeah, you never told me. So I said, hey, I want it. I love it. It'd be great to see you again. I'd love to pick up that typewriter. And he goes, okay, well, you can have it for $90.
$90. Dude, that's a super friendly neighbor, because most normal people would just be like $100.
Yeah. Yeah, he was great.
Nice round number.
And the cool thing was it belonged to his wife's grandfather.
Yeah.
He bought it used. He restored it and cleaned it, and then it sat in his closet till I guess he passed, and she's had it, never did anything with it. So it's like in excellent condition.
Can I type on it?
Yeah, sure. Here, you got paper?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think so. I think you would hand him.
Yeah.
He was gonna let me do this before we started, and then I was like, no, let me do it.
This is great.
So how do I just lift?
Yeah, just lift the thing up.
Okay.
Well, actually, put it behind put it behind.
Is this the guide?
Yeah, I have it.
And you said that you could do portrait with it.
Yeah, you can even do portrait.
This slider?
Yeah.
Does this slide?
Yeah, slides over. Yeah, this is why. Yeah, it just slides. Just manhandle it.
Break it. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. There you go,
dude.
Yeah, let me stick this. There you go.
Oh, it's rad.
Yeah, in there. And it's just
that's got a good feel to it.
Yeah, you go black or red, whatever. Here we go.
Where's tab? Is there?
It has a bar for tab.
There's a bar.
Yeah,
that's cool. Okay. Ooh, yeah, that's a tight action.
The table's wobbly. There you go. Yeah, I'm telling you, not much has been typed on this thing at all. Oh, that's great.
I almost knocked my coffee over this morning.
I'm gonna have a sip while you type a missive, an amazing missive.
Oh man, this thing! I was telling him earlier, because we had the two set next to each other. His Corona next to this one, next to the Underwood.
Yeah,
and it was like
this tiny one right here.
That little guy right back there, and it really was like a Carillion Corvette next to a Star Destroyer.
Yeah, it's tiny.
This thing is just,
it's a wall of typewriter is what it is. Yep.
Oh, you can do it.
But it didn't do it.
It was about to. Yep.
He's typing something amazing. He's actually doing his one-off live right now.
Just keep talking, Nick. Yeah. Dude, that's so awesome.
I don't even know what to type. But now I have a Corona, I've got a Royal, and I've got a Underwood. And you see Underwoods all over the place. I mean, they're workhorses for sure. Yeah.
Dude, I love it's very robust. It's very consistent. Mm-hmm. Everything's clean on it, man.
Yeah, and the heads are relative. I mean, they could use a cleaning, but they're really, they're clean as they are.
There it is.
There it is. Hallelujah. Yeah. That's just so great. So great.
It's beautiful. Adam left let's see. I cannot believe Jonathan did not read my message. I know.
I believe this one. Is this the one? Is that the one you're talking about?
Or are you talking about my
you're talking about earlier when we tried to contact you.
Dude, I was so dumb. I know. I'm sorry. I didn't think about it until last minute. We had a pretty busy day. And I didn't think about are we doing I came home and immediately started doing laundry and then laid down for 10 minutes because I've only had 3 hours sleep. And then and then was like, oh wait, I haven't heard from Nick yet. It's Mother's Day, so reached out to Nick.
Are we doing it? Are we doing this?
I was not sure.
Yeah.
And then I was waiting for the clothes to dry, and then Nick called me back, got off the phone with him, and then sent a message to Adam asking if he wanted to join us or if he was busy and he just wanted to comment and observe, because a lot of times I think Adam multitasks while he's doing this because he's so industrious. And or you know what? Maybe he just plays Dawn of War, and I wouldn't blame you in the slightest, buddy. So I sent him a message, and then I thought, oh wait, I might start my new job tomorrow. I need to call my gunsmith friend. So I called my gunsmith friend, and then by then I was running late and I had to jet, and I didn't hear my cell phone go off, which usually gives me notifications for Instagram messages. And I totally forgot to find out if Adam was going to join us. I'm so sorry, Adam. I'm so dumb. That's why I told Nick, I was like, be sure to tell him like I'm really dumb. So,
I did.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
I used the R word.
Yeah, the R.
Let's see.
So anyways, that's our whirlwind.
That's my week in review. Yeah, what lies ahead? I'm just going to keep
typing. Did we
typing.
talk about the Upworthy thing last week?
Upworthy? No, I don't know what that is.
Did I not tell you about that?
No. What's Upworthy?
Okay, so this is a funny story. The Instagram post thing that I did for Josh Fight. Did I not tell you about this?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You're gonna laugh.
Okay,
this is so funny. And my marketing manager thought that she was actually really impressed by this, which says a lot to me because my marketing manager is like Jamie's, like she's big deal, right?
Yeah.
And she knows her stuff, and to like impress her is like you're legit and I did. It's like probably the only time in my life I'll ever do it, but I was so happy. Did we not talk about Josh Fight?
Adam, you commented on something and like got a ton of views.
Yeah, and then it's like so. Like Adam, stop me if I've already talked about this, because I can't remember if I did or not.
Oh, Nick did. I talked about it. What?
No.
Oh no, I messaged
talking about the message about talking about how dumb I am. Because I am. So Josh Fight happened last week. Oh, I never mentioned Josh Fight. All right, this is a funny story. We'll make it real quick. So 2 or 3 weeks ago, there was this big internet event. There's been this meme that's been going around for about a month called Josh Fight, where like, it's just a series of text messages of like, to one friend named Josh to all of his other Joshes saying like, meet me at the park on May 5th, or whatever at high noon. There can be only one. Yeah. We're going to settle this, all the Josh. It's just some random internet meme, funny, whatever. It means nothing. Well, the internet came together, and for the first time, arguably in internet history, came together for the forces of good and had this giant, I can't remember where, but they had this, they ran with the Josh meme, and they said, bring all the Joshes to this one place. We're going to have a giant foam noodle battle royale, and it's going to be for charity.
Okay.
And they raised like reports estimate between $8,000 and $12,000.
Cool.
For this one children's hospital.
Okay.
And then the winner was a little boy, named Josh Swain. So, but it was like dozens, if not hundreds of Joshes all whacking each other with these foam noodles, just having a great big time. It was adorable. So there was a meme that went out about the Josh Fight. It was like, a guy in like a Burger King crown holding up the little boy, Josh,
nice.
He's happy, and the money will go towards his treatment, and everything. So it's like the most feel good story ever.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So,
oh God, what'd you say?
Well, I reposted. It was cute.
Oh, okay.
But it wasn't. But the story is cute. The Josh Fight thing is cute.
Totally.
But I took a snapshot and then trimmed it and reposted the meme on my page. And then wrote like a little 2-paragraph story about like literally saying, what if in the midst of all this fun, happy, play battleground, there really were 2 Joshes who hated each other and they are going to fight to the death. Right. The juxtaposition is what makes it absurd and fun. Sort of Scott Pilgrim-y, a little role models-ish, And and it was a little florid, about like their families will lament them, as they sink into defeat and death and the sublime peace of eternity of finally the rivalry will be complete. It's like a Jedi and Sith battling it out, or whatever. So it's just a couple paragraphs, posted it on my Instagram with all the normal hashtags, hashtag Josh Fight, Josh Swain. Well, Upworthy commented on it. Upworthy, I didn't know, is like, dude, they have 2 million followers.
Dang.
Yeah. So out of nowhere, Upworthy leaves a comment on my Instagram, on my author J Goss page, saying like, dude, this is really funny. Will you repost this on our meme, on our page? I was like, yeah. Yeah, Will.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So I just copied, pasted, redid it on there. They had the exact same meme on Upworthy's page. I posted it there and they pinned my comment.
Wow.
Dude. So like by the time it was all said and done, last time I checked, it had like 1,850 something likes.
Dang.
And like 60 something comments.
Dang. By the way, I sell books.
Yeah. And that was like every other comment was like, well, if you like that, maybe you'll like my novels, As I was like borderline huckster, with it, like buy my book, and but it was all super positive. It was all a lot of fun. It's all very sweet, very complimentary, very friendly, and everybody had a good time. But like, I was laughing with Jamie about it. I was like, I think I got more exposure out of that one thing than probably anything I've ever done.
I need to be a lot smarter about how I do social media. Actually, I just need to do social media, but I need to do it in a smart way too.
Yeah.
Both, because I'm awful.
Yeah,
I'm the worst.
I sold a couple copies. I know. I got some followers off of it, Not a lot of traction because like I'm so niche, like my stuff is very, but Jamie told me something.
I bet there are 2 Joshes right now reading it.
There gotta be, there's gotta be one Josh. But Jamie mentioned something really important. She was like, follow those pages. And when you like something, if you can do something like that again, copy and paste it, and
copy and paste
take a snippet of the meme itself.
Okay.
So you can add your own commentary to it.
Okay.
And then tag the person you got it from, which I always do. You give credit, in Instagram speak, it's text. You say text from, Upworthy or text from, Illusion.
I had no idea.
Choice.
Yeah. Okay.
It's just as a joke,
okay.
Of like, I'm texting you, you're but you're still giving credit to the person. But then she said the other thing you need to do, and I forgot, I had neglected to do this, is tag the person in the image. Because then, how you can click on it and then you can tag.
Yeah.
Do that. Because not only then are they getting a notification that you've added them, but then, but they're also like, it's your post is going to show up in the section of their Instagram channel when people go to it and they look at posts they've been tagged in. Mm-hmm. So if anybody wants to see like,
interesting. Okay.
So it helps create a double layer of exposure for them. That's permanent and visual.
Okay.
So it's very good advice. Yeah. She knows her stuff. So anyways,
I see.
So like we said, man, it's been a big week. I mean, we've been jawing about this for like 20 minutes now, but but it's been a really good week, man. It's been
I am
productive.
2 digits of IQ when it comes to this type of stuff, man. This is
Nick is pretty good.
I'm discouraged too because I feel like, okay, I'm going to get up to speed. I'm going to get up to snuff. I'm going to learn the things. Yeah. I'm going to learn all these little dirty tricks. And by the time I learn them, everything will be different.
Yeah.
Everything will change.
Yeah.
And it's just constant keeping up with it. Oh gosh.
It is.
And it's discouraging. It makes me like want to not even try.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if it's, I don't know. And that's why I need someone like Jamie.
Oh yeah.
It just gets someone else to keep up with it.
Well,
and I will pay you to tell me how to do it right.
Right.
Or do it for me.
Well, dude, I would love to.
That'd be great.
If I could afford it, I would just pay someone to just
mow my social media lawn.
Yeah, mow my social media lawn. You can have it. You can have my social media lawn.
Absolutely.
And just keep the social media HOA off my back.
Yeah, exactly.
But
I think we're on it.
But really,
there.
Yeah, really. Just weed.
Yeah.
That's the thing that a marketing manager knows how to either predict, or in Jamie's case, she knows the stuff that has worked for 10 years now. that no matter how much technology changes, these kinds of attitudes, these kinds of approaches will always produce results because they have a proven track record of producing results. Because I mean, she built her company, and she does that. She does consulting for other people, other clients, like real clients, not just like a friend for 16 years who writes some crappy books, like real people, with real money. So, that's why like I try to impart some of that stuff. I mean, she's a wealth of information. She's an excellent marketing manager, but there are a few things along the way that I picked up that are worth like passing on to other people without like showing her bag of tricks,
Yeah.
And one of them is interact on other people's stuff instead of focusing on making your own stuff. Don't sink a lot of time into making your own stuff as much as you do getting your name out there and by interacting with other people's stuff, and keep it positive. Don't get into internet fights with people, because that
was hard to do last year.
Dude.
Really hard.
Yeah. I failed at
really
it.
hard. We all lost friends.
Yeah, we did, and we all suffered for it somehow. We all lost platforms or lost accounts or
put in Facebook jail or whatever.
Yeah,
for sure.
So
it's great advice, man. That's great advice. I gotta.
It's a lesson I learned the hard way.
Yeah.
I paid the price for that.
Is there a right platform? It probably depends on your target audience, doesn't it?
It does.
And what they typically look at.
It depends on what you're selling, what it is of yours that you're wanting to get out there, and what your audience is. Yeah. Like for D, for those resin things, like Instagram's perfect.
Yeah, for sure.
Because it's so visual. She can do videos, she can do pictures, and all that stuff is beautiful, and it's really cool and like cosmic looking, and and people really gravitate towards that because Instagram's a visual medium. But if you're like maybe say more on the politics side, then maybe Twitter or Telegram are the places to be, depending on your political spectrum. And if you're watching this, you're probably not big on the like Twitter side of things. I mean, you may be, who knows. And you know what? Godspeed if you are. Yeah. If you want to, if you want to dance to the modal nodes.
Yeah. If you can only stand 120 characters, you probably can't stand 120 minutes of us.
Yeah. If you live in a world of 120 characters, you are not living in a world of 120 minutes of the Gosslings.
No.
Yeah, no. That's a very good point.
Oh, but what as far as what lies ahead and the Gosslings, of course, we have the Facebook group.
Yeah,
the Gosslings Writers Group on Facebook.
Yeah.
Please join. There's zero criteria.
Yeah.
All you have to do to join is hit the button join.
Yeah.
Essentially. There are no rules.
Yet.
But if I don't like you, I'll remove you. But we only have a few members on there, but nothing has been repulsive yet. I haven't had to remove anybody, but it is all about writing.
Yeah.
And when either jokingly or otherwise, or supportive wise, it's going to be great. I think that's going to grow and get bigger. I'm excited about that.
You know what would be interesting? Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, and the other thing too is we're looking into turning these YouTube our live streams here, also formatting them for podcasts.
Yeah.
If that's okay for me to share.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Jamie sent me the link. She sent me links for how to convert live stream audio into podcast format. And then she also sent me links for Sticker Mule so that we could Sticker Mule as a platform, sort of like Teespring, like what Creepy Little Book does with Teespring, where we can make stickers and buttons with our logos.
Yeah, cool.
So we got some cool things in the work. I think the next phase is going to be having some sort of a web page.
Yeah.
Which I have the domains for, but that's like having some sort of.
You have the Gosslings?
Yeah, I have the Gosslings. I have authorjakegoss.com.
Well, I think we'd have to have a web page to host the audio files for the podcast, right?
The
podcast download. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I think it's great. That was forethoughtful.
Yeah.
On your part. Well done.
Well, that's Jamie. That's what you get when you hire a good friend who is a veteran of the internet, and willing to help you.
We are going to move on now to
typewriter.
We're doing typewriter one-offs. This is essentially where we drop trowel.
Yeah,
we drop trowel and
just
bare our
squat right
vulnerabilities in front of the Internet of Things and subject ourselves to whatever.
It's sort of like a writer's nudie show.
It is. It's like the one thing writers fear the most is
vulnerability.
Yeah, it's like just putting their stuff out there and someone going like,
polish.
"That's awful." So what we do is we write on a typewriter, a one-page blurb, story, whatever, and we read it on this live stream with no, the idea is to get over our fear of bad reviews.
Yeah,
just to put it out there.
Thicken
and know
up your
it's out
skin.
there. Anyone can
calluses
see it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so we both write one.
It's sort of like we're like Zen monks punching the sand.
Yes. Yeah, we punish ourselves. If we're harder on ourselves than other people would be, then that's kind of the idea.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just put all my crap out there.
Yeah.
And know it's crap and be okay with it. That way, when someone says, "Hey, it's crap," I'm gonna be like, "I know, it came out of my butt. I know."
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it came right out of my
right out of my butthole. That's where the crap comes from.
Came right out of my creativity booty hole.
Yeah.
I just here it is. And so the way we do it, this is to curb my type A personality, like dominant. I have to like be the one to kick in the door, kind of like OCD over. I'm a lot to deal with. But the way we handle that is we do rock, paper, scissors because we're children. So
and my personality is so non-challenging, I'm almost non-existent. So we're a good balance. But we did agree on rock, paper, scissors is perfect.
Nick keeps me grounded because he gives me someone to be around.
Yeah.
And Nick puts up with me, and I don't know what he gets out of it, but whatever. Charity, good works, jewels in your heavenly crown. I just give him fuel for the secret project he's working on.
Oh yeah, the secret book I'm writing.
Yeah.
About two brothers
that you have time for.
Right, that I have all this time for.
What's funny is our nephew Joseph let slip one time around BJ. He was like, "Oh yeah, the story that you're writing, like about the brothers," and BJ went, "Oh."
Oh,
yeah, so I think there's something.
So our older brother's been writing stories about us.
I think so.
And flapping his gums in front of his family about it. Well then,
the game's afoot.
I'm so gonna just pry into that.
Yeah, just.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we do rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah.
Can we hit the chat real quick?
Yeah, sure. Hit the chat.
I don't know if I want to make sure I haven't missed anything.
No, we're all covered.
Are we covered?
Yep. All right, let's do it. Ready?
All right. 1, 2, 3, shoot.
Yeah.
How
did you know I always land on rock? I thought, well, this time I'm definitely.
Do you really? Do you always land on rock?
I always do.
Yeah, I think you do. Yeah.
Crap.
I'm so dumb though. Like I don't pick up on the pattern. Like I'm just totally random.
You probably slowed time down.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, with your ninja skills, everything moves slow to you because you have the cat-like reflexes.
I have studied long upon the mountain. Why don't you go first?
All right, mine's super short.
Yeah.
So it won't take long at all.
Cool.
Mostly single space, but lots of breaks.
Yeah.
So, okay. I'll go first.
Did you write that on this, by the way?
I did. It's the first typewriter went off on this guy. Yeah, awesome. It was fun. Okay, here we go.
Nick collects typewriters the way I collect guns.
Yeah, I'm starting to. All right. Daddy, will you tell me a story? That's what they always ask for when you put them to bed. You'll notice that they never ask, Daddy, will you teach me a lesson? Or, Daddy, will you desensitize me so I'm ready for the world of grown-ups? Kids just want stories. They want stories that are full of magic. They want just a hint of being scared with a dash of science wonder and a whole load of laughs. Kids want to hear about characters that are exactly like them, only with superpowers.
Mm-hmm.
Kids want to feel empowered. They live in a world of big, powerful adults, a world of chaos and anger, a universe where the world is out to get them, where the wolves are at the door. At bedtime, they want to escape. They want to dream happy dreams and imagine a universe subject to their own special powers. That's what kids want, but it's not what the industry wants. The industry wants books about gender identity and bullying. The industry wants books about recycling and diversity. The world doesn't need tiny activists. The industry wants them conditioned and ready, but the world doesn't need 9-year-old girls foaming at the mouth and spewing global warming slogans. The world needs dreamers and poets. The world needs kids and their imaginations. The world needs to be reminded that we are human, and kids who dream and imagine are more human than adults. So when kids ask for a story, just give them a story. Don't give them a sermon about social justice or climate change. Make up a story where the kid is the hero, and make that character exactly like the child falling asleep to the tale of magic and wonder. And if they stay awake, for God's sake, make it a happy ending.
Maybe something like
this, for example.
this. Ding, ding. Da-da, da-da-da-da-da-da.
Hold on.
Perfect.
End scene.
That's an awesome cover, by the way.
Yeah, it's really good. He did a good job.
I think
That was old Hampton.
Yeah.
That one. Yep.
old Ham.
Yep.
Old Hammy Ham. Good for you, buddy. Well, yeah, we all have to earn our soup somehow.
Yep.
So
Yep.
you know.
He did a good job. He did a good job on those books. But that was just inspired by my being fatigued at how every book has to have some, it's got to have a message, some theme.
Yeah.
And the problem with themes is that they're dictated by political correctness.
Yeah.
And whatever the trend is.
Yeah.
And the themes of today are going to be irrelevant tomorrow. Yeah. And the things that last are just stories.
Yeah.
Are just good stories.
Yeah.
That make people
timeless.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Princess Bride will always be a good story.
Yeah. The Princess Bride the Roald Dahl books will always be great.
Yeah.
Lion Witch of the Wardrobe will always be great.
Yeah.
Harry Potter will always be great.
Always be great.
There's not, all these social justice messaging and all this,
and they might have something
crap.
laced in there like that, but that's not the raison d'etre of those books.
No, it's about wizard school.
Yeah.
About following one boy through, growing up and going to this fantastic world every year as he gets older and having this identity, and he's discovers his powers. He's more powerful. He discovers he's more powerful, and more meaningful as he goes. Yeah.
It's a coming of age story.
Yeah, it is. It is. If you read through all of them, it certainly is.
Yeah.
And I don't know, gosh dang it.
Well, that's
what moral lesson did you learn from Star Wars?
Do the right thing. Luke Skywalker. Luke Skywalker is such a beautiful character, and Mark Hamill exemplifies him. Yeah, he's had a lot of time to think about him, and but he exemplified him perfectly with his outrage over Luke Skywalker in The Last Jedi. He said, a Jedi doesn't quit. The beautiful thing, there are two moments in Luke Skywalker's journey that I think are the most powerful. One is in Empire Strikes Back when he jumps off of the platform. Right? And he says, I'd rather die than join you.
Mm-hmm.
And he's certain that he's going to die.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing in, and in the original version, by the way, he didn't scream on the way down because he had accepted his fate. That's a weird special edition thing.
That's interesting. Didn't know that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a little weird. Lucas got a little tunnel vision on those, but so that's a sacrifice moment. I mean, that's why the whole Mara Jade romance thing was kind of cool, because it was yeah, man, you want Luke to have a wife because he's a good dude, right? But it makes sense for him to be that loner, that lonely, unwed priest type character, that chaste crusader type, because he has the burden of the galaxy on his shoulders, and he's the only one with the heart to carry it through, And the other moment is when in Return of the Jedi, when he turns himself in and he tries to convert Vader back, before they go see the Emperor, because it's still uncertain. And he gets through to Vader. And, there's that moment where Vader says, it's too late for me, my son, and of course, then there's the other moment, the real high drama moment at the end when he throws away his lightsaber. It's like those are the character moments that show like who he really is. And they're Jesus moments. They're like, they're moments that transcend the mundane, humanity, the crap of humanity, and they rise out.
Well, I think I don't think anyone is interested in following a character who doesn't care about doing the right thing.
Right.
Ultimately doing the right thing.
Yeah. Not unless you're some like nihilist who just wants to read something subversive and trashy, some empty calorie, like, or you want to feed some sort of like pathology inside of you, but that's just like,
that's not what you read to kids.
Yeah, it's not what you read to kids.
It's not a kid's book.
And that's that is the intellectual and spiritual equivalent of being a cutter. When you read that kind of stuff, those like cynical anti-hero characters who just, I know, it's so wearisome. It's so absolutely wearisome. So, but like political trends, they come and go. The winds change. I mean, you'll always have your your leftist, subversive, Marxist agendas of anti-humanism, which is or misanthropy, which is what environmentalism ultimately is. The Green Movement basically is misanthropy. That like you existing is a crime against the planet. And the planet is, that's what that whole carbon credit thing is.
Yeah, totally.
That's what that whole
Absolutely
don't have kids things is.
Yeah.
I mean, and look, certain comics have like made hay out of it. Doug Stanhope had a really funny bit about how abortion is green.
Yeah.
It's like, it's funny, but it's funny because it's so outrageous, and whatever. And so like all of those little tradition, civilization, legacy destroying, they're all these little motifs that work to erode and make you, they're so Luciferian because they make you hate yourself.
Yeah.
And as a human, they make you hate yourself. And so like, but there are stories and themes that transcend time, coming of age, taking up the broken sword of your father, sticking by your friend, even when he's, being convicted of something terrible.
Yeah.
It's
funny, our slogan, our motto, take up the broken sword of your father and strike down the darkness, is exactly what Luke Skywalker does.
I mean, it literally is.
It is. It's exactly what Luke accomplishes.
Exactly what,
in those three movies.
Oh my gosh, it's so true. I
Isn't
never thought about that. Yeah.
Is it crazy? And originally when we came up with it was because, our dad was this amazing, successful, creative genius in music.
Yeah.
Christian. And cancer took him from us.
Yeah.
And we saw that, while we didn't have any musical talent, we still had a passion for creating and writing.
Yeah.
And so we took up his broken sword of creativity.
Yeah.
And we're using it to, carry on some sort of creative legacy, if you will. Nothing compared to his, obviously, but but still in our own way to keep that going. To strike and to use it for good purposes.
Right. Well, and it's
for good messaging.
And the original mental image I had of that was from the prologue of Lord of the Rings. Like, this almost directly comes from two things. One, King Arthur pulling Excalibur out of the stone.
Yeah. That
his father, Uther Pendragon, drove into the stone.
Yeah.
But those characters aren't. Uther wasn't a super good dude, so it's like whatever. But then the other one, the main one, where that motto comes from, is in the prologue to the Fellowship of the Ring. They show the backstory and they show the big battle where they defeat Sauron. And in the battle, there's the human king. I can't remember his name, but he's fighting Sauron, and Sauron,
Aragorn?
No.
Oh, you're talking about the very beginning.
Very beginning, the prologue.
Isildur.
Isildur is his son.
Oh.
So, like, the 5 minutes of Lord of the Rings that actually should have been the trilogy.
Yeah. Well, no, I loved it. No, I loved it. I thought it was all great. But I know that was a cool part. They could.
It's like, that's the
movie. They could make a prequel.
I know. That's the movie you should have made.
Yeah.
Instead of making The Hobbit, how about you make The Silmarillion? But, that's a morality tale, so we can't have that. But no, like, that there's that moment where the king gets slain by Sauron, the Dark Lord, trying to fight him.
Yeah.
And then Isildur tries to fight him, and he gets knocked down.
Yeah.
In a rage against the slaying of his father, and he reaches for his father's sword, and Sauron steps on it and breaks it, and breaks his father's broadsword, you know? And then Sauron reaches for Isildur, the son, the prince, and Isildur takes the broken sword of his father and cuts the ring of power off. And it's this awesome, cathartic moment where you just, yes.
They basically cut,
and they slay the darkness.
They cut the Infinity Gauntlet off of Thanos' arm. And it's funny because in Marvel, because we just got done watching it, this is my son's toy, the Infinity Gauntlet from Endgame, Iron Man Infinity Gauntlet. The same thing happens essentially in the Marvel Universe where Thanos does his dirty deed, and then they decide that they're going to catch up with him. They find out where he's at, and Thor cuts the gauntlet off of his hand. Yeah, and he uses it with an axe that he had made in lieu of the destruction of his hammer, Mjolnir.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So, which his father gave him, Mjolnir.
Yeah.
It was lost, so he went and had an axe made. And of course, at this point, his father's dead.
Yeah.
So he, has this, Stormbreaker. It's called Stormbreaker, and he cuts. And I'm like, wait a minute, that's kind of Lord of the Rings-ish. That reminds me of when Sauron gets his fingers sliced off. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. But yeah, man, that's a good point. That's a good point. But doing the right thing, I mean, that should be in every kid's book. Yeah.
Well, and what is the right thing? That's, that becomes the hard question to ask, because that's what no one. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
What is the right thing? Different people have different. But man, that's where tradition and legacy come into play. It's like you can look at what the right thing has been for the past 6,000 years.
Yeah, for sure.
I
wonder where we could
find
examples of that. I wonder if there are any books about that.
Could there possibly be like a 2,000-year-old story about that? Maybe an example to follow? Oh, of another son who does the right thing for his father? I'm afraid to say the
words. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, a carpenter maybe, You're not my real dad. So it's those logos-driven, godly just legacy as old as the vine that creeps.
Yeah.
There's an awesome Adam, you probably know what I'm talking about. There's an awesome trailer for Destiny that I love. It's got Gino Carlino, the guy who plays I'm not pronouncing his name right, but he's the guy who plays Moff Gideon. I think it's Moff Gideon. Before he was Moff Gideon, and he's reading a bedtime story to his child. And he's got this awesome voice.
Oh, yeah, he does. He was the chief bad guy in Breaking Bad.
Yes. Yeah.
That's great. Yeah.
Same guy. I think it's the same dude. And I think it was either at the same time as Breaking Bad or before that. Cool. Yeah, dude, that trailer is so awesome. Like that, it gets you right here. Cool. Like even with no kids, because he's reading that bedtime story to his child, and they're intercutting it with like all these cool action scenes, and Bungie knows what they're doing with the music. Marty O'Donnell,
for sure. Like, Bungie's fantastic.
Yeah, and and he's like, the law of the jungle, which is as old as the vine that creeps. He just enunciates so perfectly. If you've never seen that Destiny trailer, man, the very first Destiny trailer is really, really good, and it's that same thing, man.
Yeah,
it's just honoring your father.
Yeah, very cool, man. Well, let's get to your one-off. Let's do yours.
So mine is long. It's almost like a short story unto itself. So I apologize, but and it's dark, but it's also kind of cool. So let's see. It is really good. Yeah. I kind of almost just like want to try and find it. Can we just watch the Destiny trailer? Can we just skip my one-off? And
I'll look for the Destiny trailer while you read.
Yeah. Okay, there you go. Okay, here we go. This is not vulgar or racy, but it does deal in some pretty dark. It's a pretty dark subject matter. So if you got little kids who maybe are watching, I don't know. Like I don't come right out and say anything, but you kind of can get what I'm going for. So just, this is very PG-13, I guess I'll say. Okay, here we go. Trevor snorted another line. He stared down at the CD case, the graphic of its cover obscured by an impacted dusting of white powder. It was an ensemble of live musicians decked out in matching suits, all holding their instruments and mugging for the camera. The backdrop was a familiar studio set in New York City. In a haze of annoyance, he recognized their frontman by his clownish grin. The music was always the same. He heard it every Saturday night amidst the storm of narcotics and barbiturates. Their theme song always seemed to kick off his requisite weekly jaunt of self-destructive revelry. He loathed them. He loved them. He needed them. They were his only anchor point in the storm of instability that was his ruinous life. But tonight would be different, even though it was not yet Saturday night. For tonight, you see, Trevor was going to die. He did not expect as much, nor did he plan it that way. Trevor was not known for his planning. He, like his other drug-addled cohorts, lived life as if it were nothing more than a series of moments, moving from one high to the next. Always chasing a dragon, he was living the American dream as dictated to him by pop culture, pursuing happiness to the fullest. No matter the cost, no matter the effort, no matter the consequences rendered upon those around him. Trevor would wring every drop of juice from life's lemons, squeezing every last droplet of blood from the stone, good to the last, even if it killed him. Everyone dies of something, he would shrug when his partners in crime would balk at his exploits. He was known as Wildman, Veins, Cue Ball, Rotgut, and Early Worm. But his favorite was Choppa, a sly allusion to that 80s sci-fi action movie about the muscle-bound commandos fighting the cloaked hunter alien in the jungle. He was, in short, the absolute scum of the earth. But of all his ill-earned titles, it was Choppa that made him the worst. He was a predator with a ravenous appetite, hunting the most elusive game of all, the fairer sex. While others of his ilk sought to fill the void in their souls with boosted stereos, petty cash from pickpocketed wallets, or stolen jewelry from tourists, Trevor's hunger was satiated by stealing that which was most sacred. And he was very good at his job. An expert thief. Completely lacking in charm, voracious wit, or any discernible wealth, for he spent every dime he had on ingesting enough toxins to shut down a water treatment plant. What Trevor did have was a line on just about every drug known to man. Cruising the clubs, he would ply his trade to the vulnerable, the broken, the desperate, the destitute yearning to be free of their emotional, psychological, and spiritual chains. Last week was no different. He had scored again, finding some raven-haired pixie with emerald eyes and spiked boots, and offering her whatever she wanted. She took it as a challenge. The gauntlet was thrown down. And he delivered. Less than an hour later, they were stumbling over the stacks of canvases and watery paint buckets. She passed out drooling on her pillow, and Trevor did what Trevor prided most in himself. His fellow potlickers, T-Bone and Ray Ray, used to challenge him with, "Pics or it didn't happen, bro." But Trevor was well versed in the art and always brought his phone to take his trophy shot. But this time it would be different. For you see, upon this night, middle of the week and locked away in some basement that belonged to his recently deceased grandmother, Trevor would feel an ache growing in the center of his torso, right below the sternum. In moments, it waxed to an unbearable apogee, cutting through his dazed and confused high. It wasn't a heart attack. He knew where his heart was, like any good junkie. He had even taken precautions and had a red X tattooed over the organ with the words, "Marks the spot," inked underneath, in case anyone needed to inject him with life-saving drugs in the event of an overdose. Indeed, his whole body was laced with such vital markings, from blood type to where to incise a tracheotomy to where to cinch a tourniquet or leech a blood. Like his benevolent grandfather tried to inculcate in him when he spent a month as a Boy Scout before getting kicked out for stealing and huffing glue, be prepared. But nothing could prepare him for the pain in his center mass that seemed to suck the life out of him. His breath became labored. His vision dimmed. The sweat poured. The sensation in his limbs steadily receded to a useless numb, to the point that he could no longer cradle himself in his pock-marked, veiny, rope-thin arms. Nor could he feel the headache from his gnashing teeth as they cracked. This was no overdose. This was something far, far worse. Trevor, the scumbag, was dying an irredeemable death. And miles away, in her lonely studio apartment, that gothy pixie stood before her easel, paintbrush in hand. Her gait was marred by what had happened to her Saturday night, her memory fuzzy with only a smattering of traumatic flashes to haunt her nightmares. But she knew what had happened. Her therapist had told her that a good way to relieve the stress, to hit the release valve, would be to express her pain through art. So she painted. She painted every face of every abuser, everyone who had ever wronged or hurt her. You have to exorcise your demons, the doctor had told her. Little did he know that she had once been touched by something that cannot be touched back, something primordial, ethereal, powerful, and in need of a host. And it loved colors. She dipped her brush into the black paint and continued to paint swirls onto the chest of the man she met at the bar. She barely remembered his body type, but she remembered his face. Painted in exquisite detail, she had captured him perfectly. And unbeknownst to her, that thing which followed her had captured him too. She didn't know why she was painting a black hole in the center of his chest, but it seemed right, or at least deserving. As she put the finishing touches on the painting of the roofie rapist, she stood back and admired her handiwork. She signed her initials and placed the finished canvas on the stack of others to dry, lest gravity wreak havoc upon the oils. And below it, piled a dozen high, were other various portraits of men and women who, if a detective ever found them, would have some very serious questions for the girl that she could not answer. Nor, some would contest, should she have to. And miles away, Trevor died an inexplicable death before his friend's eyes, sprawled across the coffee table of drugs, paraphernalia, and booze. Clutching his torso in a way that later coroners would be unable to explain, but would rule as a consequence of his rampant, rapacious lifestyle. Some would call it karma. Some would call it justice. Others revenge. But for the girl in the apartment with paintings that could kill, it was just another Wednesday.
Wow. I'm going to applaud that one.
Thank you, sir.
That was really good. So did she know?
No.
She didn't know.
She's just doing therapy.
Right.
But the demon knows.
The demon knows.
Yeah.
Ah, that's so good. Wow, that's powerful.
Yeah.
That's powerful. You know, it's interesting that a lot of really great, artists, authors, and so forth.
Yeah.
Their work, what makes it so different and stark and, powerful, meaningful, memorable, what have you.
Thanks, Steve.
Is that it comes from pain.
Oh, yeah.
It comes from pain.
Yeah.
And it's interesting, the thought of that pain and that abuse and all those years of abuse that a demon latched onto that.
Yeah.
That
a demon can use that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she's like focusing and channeling all that and painting, all of her abusers.
It's like the opposite of Dorian Gray.
Yeah, it's exactly right. It's the opposite of Dorian Gray.
I don't know if it's a concept I'm sure someone's done it before.
That's so good. That's your dude.
You're
getting better at these. I'm getting crappier at these. You're getting better.
Whatever. Okay.
That was fantastic. Wow. That's like, you need to submit that to a short story contest. Yeah? For real. You need to submit that to a short story contest. There was
some sort of email I got about a short
story. Dude, you got it. Yeah, man. That's
it's got to be done before. As I was writing it, I was like, this is like some crypt amnesia stuff. Someone has got to have done this. Chat, help me out. If you know,
all right,
where did I steal this idea from? Because I don't know. I'll tell you.
Did you get it from a movie?
I'll tell you where I got the idea from. I got the idea from I took a friend of mine out for a Mother's Day sushi date last night, and she likes to paint, and she's had those experiences. So I remember, and she's kind of in that spiritual phase, and so I remember thinking this, man, what if she started painting her pain and it reached out and killed these people who deserve to die.
Oh man, that's crazy. That's a great concept.
Yeah,
that's a great.
Wild,
that's
right?
a cool premise.
But someone's had to have done it. I mean, it's not,
Crypt amnesia is crazy.
Yeah,
it's strange. Like Christian wanted me to write a book that was kind of sci-fi for kids.
Mm-hmm.
And I was trying to think of a name for it. There's a brother and a sister. It's in Hacker Jack, right?
Yeah.
Hacker Jack. The two main characters, Charlie and Laura, I was trying to think of a cool last name for them.
Yeah.
And we had just gotten done watching the Lego movie.
Oh, yeah.
And in the movie, President Business is talking to Emmett, and he says, "Got anything else for me, Brickkowski?"
Oh, yeah.
Like brick, like Lego brick, Brickkowski. I'm like,
yeah.
Brickkowski, that's kind of cool. I'll just say Bukowski.
Yeah.
So it was Charlie and Laura Bukowski.
Yeah.
Charlie Bukowski, right? And then, fast forward a year, maybe a year and a half later to now, like recently, I was on YouTube and I was like, I just want to hear, like modern authors talk about writing and the process. So I YouTubed it.
Right, yeah.
Like Rodder's talking about, and this guy comes up.
Right.
It's like
Who's
American
been sweeping through the memes.
American poet named Charles Bukowski.
Yeah, I know.
I'm like, who's Charles Bukowski?
Do you want to use this as a writing
topic,
topic,
wait a minute.
by the way?
Charles Bukowski, I just, from the 60s and 70s, I just named my hero Charlie Bukowski.
Yeah. Yeah.
It blew my I'd never heard of Charles Bukowski before. No idea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Dadgummit.
I know. You're just like, ugh.
Yeah, and like in the Travelers League, there's
missed it by that
one
much.
of the Pirates of Scooby. His name's Rat Trap.
Yeah, I had to break that one to you.
Yeah, I had no idea.
Yeah.
Just Rat Trap.
And you know
like
what's
a
funny?
cool name of a kid. Like the
it is
short
cool.
guy. He's got the Brooklyn accent. I'm going to fix all your stuff. I got the cool tech.
Yeah.
I'm going to help you.
There goes Rat Trap
He's
again.
he's like
rigging something up.
Yeah, he's like the mechanic.
I'll make it work this time, I swear.
Yeah, he's the mechanic. He's
you always doubt me.
Scrappy, rough mechanic of the. He's the scrappy, rough mechanic of the group.
Yeah.
Rat Trap's just a cool name, so I did it. And then after I published it, Jonathan's like, "Yeah, they already did that in a cartoon, and the guy's name was Rat Trap."
Yeah, it's called Beast Wars.
I've never heard of Beast Wars.
Right, but here's the thing. And here's how I knew it was coming from that crypt amnesia place. As someone who has had that happen multiple times, I know for a fact, I loved Beast Wars. And Transformers fans hate it when I say that, because apparently it's like the redheaded stepchild of the Transformers universe.
Yep.
Okay, whatever. I didn't I didn't know.
43, I don't care.
Right, yeah. And really, you're that one? That's the one?
Yeah.
That's like Transformers?
Yeah.
All right, whatever. Why don't you get rabid about like Captain Power next, But Captain Power was cool, but that's anyways. But I loved Beast Wars. I thought Beast Wars was super cool. And it had like a story, and it had characters would die, it was real. It was cool. But Nick, maybe once or twice in passing, saw 30 seconds of Beast Wars, because Nick was older, so Nick didn't watch Beast Wars. He was too old for it.
I have no memory of it.
I was almost too old for it when it came out. I just thought it was really neat. But Nick, I guarantee you, when you that buried itself somewhere in the back of your brain, and it maybe was 15 seconds of an episode.
I don't know. I don't think so. I think the Muse is a demon. I think the Muse takes things from the very recent past within your own lifetime, and then inspires you to write about them, thinking it's all your idea.
It inceptions you,
and then does a little surprise.
Yeah,
pops out of the birthday cake.
Yeah.
It's so frustrating. I'm afraid to write something now, because it's it validates that fear that everything's already been done. There's nothing you can do.
Sure.
You can't create anything original anymore.
Well, that's
the fear.
But you know what? You got to embrace that. Look, Pressfield did it for A Man at Arms. He knew he was doing a gunslinger story. And here's the thing. That motif is nothing new. I remember in 2000.
Yeah, a motif is one thing, but the same character with the exact same name is something completely different.
Dude, I ripped off.
It's demonic, is what I'm saying. It's demonic.
Yeah. At least, but you know what? At least Nick did it in innocence. I did it intentionally with Heavenly Realms. The character Asmodeus, the Eldar Asmodeus, who's modeled. He's wiry, and he's a seraph, and he's this unctuous, officious, slimy politician type. He's like a Chuck Schumer type, and he's just
Chuck Schumer.
He's all the,
Yeah.
he's just everything greasy and oily and sickly, disgusting about politicians. Who's just,
I love to hate him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's Mitch McConnell. He's every politician you hate, right?
Yeah.
The vizier, the courtier, and he's always antagonistic to the archangels because the archangels are considered, they're like royalty to the Council of Elders Parliament.
Yeah.
So they're competing forces in the hierarchy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And anyway, so Asmodeus, he even sounds, in my head, he sounds like Michael Wincott, who is the sheriff of Nottingham in Prince of Thieves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's got that like acid over gravel voice, and why would you think that you deserve to be consul, Michael? Just always just needling and just backbiting and just undermining everything. Turns out to be a bad guy. He's totally ripped off from Halo 2. He's the prophet of truth from Halo 2.
Oh, yeah.
100%. Who, by the way, is voiced by Michael Wincott.
Oh, wow.
I couldn't rip anything off any harder than but it's but dude, but look, I remember in 2006, Jamie, my marketing manager, Jamie on MySpace interviewed me, with a questionnaire. She sent me a questionnaire and, because even back then she was trying to save me from myself by marketing me. And, she was a fan of the work forever. God bless her. And so she asked me what my favorite TV show was. And I told her 24. Because we just got finished watching season 4.
Yeah.
Season 4 is the best season of 24. Because he literally fakes his own death and literally walks off into the sunset. Like Bruce Banner, Indiana Jones 3 style. With a duffel bag and nothing else. His messenger bag. And and only his friends know that he's dead. Only Tony Almeida knows, and Chloe, and no one else. Everybody else, or they only know that he's alive. Everybody else thinks he's dead. And I remember saying in that 24, you see, is a Western. And I didn't really understand exactly what I was saying at the time. I just had this innate thing inside of me that this feels like a Western, and even I can't fully articulate why. And I couldn't really articulate why until I was listening to Stephen Pressfield talk about Westerns and the gunslinger motif. Mm-hmm. That is a man who lives by his own code that sometimes makes him a loner and at odds with society, and violence is his first recourse. It's well, that's Jack Bauer.
Yeah, for sure.
That's 24.
Yeah.
So even 15 years ago, without realizing it, I had spoken the words that 24 is a Western, and now looking back on it, having Pressfield articulate what was inside here, mm-hmm. It's it validates that. It's yeah, it's a Western. Mm-hmm. And that's
it's interesting because now we live in a time where, the Western motif is obviously going through a renaissance, but it's not coming through a renaissance in Western movies.
Even though there's up in other places,
it's showing up in other places. It's showing up in The Mandalorian.
So oh my god!
It's showing up in Man at Arms. It's showing up in some of the stuff you're writing. It's showing up because it's a motif that resonates.
Roman Coke.
Yeah, Roman Coke. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But it's not showing up in cowboy movies.
Right. It's not 1895.
Yeah.
It's not 1905. It's not Red Dead Redemption. Yeah.
I would be so happy if they just brought back a slew of cowboy movies that have that motif. It'd be great, but they're not going to because white males. But I'll stop.
I know.
So it's showing up in other places because there's still a market for. Well, there's a market for it. They know people want that.
Yeah.
But they don't want it to be.
But they don't want people to want it. Yeah, that is the curse of the Mandalorian. Yeah. The curse of the Mandalorian is the same curse as pretty much everything Pressfield's ever written, which is there is a hunger for that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
There is a hunger for dad culture.
Yep. Father culture, masculine.
Yep. I mean, that's what
there it is.
That's what the Goslings motto is. I mean, that's pure father culture.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And that's why the Mandalorian's popular. Mandalorian is not popular because it looks like Star Wars.
Like, hello, like Han Solo, Solo, a Star Wars story, looks like Star Wars. Rogue One looks like Star Wars. And those movies have, like...
They can't compare to Mandalorian.
They have middling to average or above average general opinion, public opinion.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there are people who revere Rogue One as the best, but whatever. Like, but no one can compare to the Mandalorian. Just like you said, nothing compares. So they all look the same, but Dave Filoni knows what he's doing because Dave Filoni loves Star Wars, and he has that godly humility to apprentice himself to George Lucas. He was an apprentice of George Lucas's
that makes
when
sense.
He was making one of the cartoons. I can't remember if it was Rebels or Clone Wars. So there's that like there's a hunger for dad culture that's always going to be there. And you know what? It's always going to be needled and picked away at, and just chipped away on all sides by, Dallas Bryce Howard directing the stupidest episode.
And the reason is the more, Hollywood or whatever, the more entertainment chips away and tries to remove fathers from the culture, the more people are going to want father culture, and the more they're going to have to slip it in. Yep. They're feeding the hunger is what they're doing.
They really are. They're starving the very thing that, they're trying to starve the thing, but the thing is stealing from them.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is only stealing from them because they're trying to starve it.
Surely they're not so blinded that they're having the opposite effect of what they're intending.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
It's sort of like Lucifer's plans get turned on him.
They're too smart. They're like, we're going to take this away to be politically correct, to drive the agenda, but we're still going to give it to you in this form because we know that's what you're going to buy.
Yeah,
and we need the money.
Yeah, we're just going to funnel it through here.
Yeah.
Well, it's if you hate humanity, you want to take the father out of the home. Metaphorically, literally, entertainment-wise, whatever. Because it's the Garden of Eden, right? Like the serpent will prey upon the vulnerable if the protector isn't there, And the husband, the father, the archetype is to be a protector. I'll never forget one of the few maxims. Mom and dad did not really live by maxims a whole lot. Mom more than dad, but they had a few. And one of them, Mom told me, and Margaret told me too, like, Margaret was a therapist for like 60 years, or 50 years. She's brilliant. Primarily dealing with abused women, by the way. But they both told me, ultimately, at the end of the day, women just want to be protected. And that took me by surprise because the women I always gravitated towards was like the Princess Leia types, who didn't look like they need to be protected, who were strong, independent women or whatever. But it wasn't men who were telling me that. It was women, and it was godly women who were telling me that. Women who I would trust them more than I would trust any one of you ever watching this for the next 20 years. So,
that's a good point.
So it's just, but that's the thing. It's like, if you remove the protector from the home, if you demonize them, look at every sitcom in the 90s. Every sitcom in the 90s was the dad's an idiot.
Yeah, that's when it began.
That's when it really started. I mean, even in the 80s, they didn't have that as much. So, So it just, the insidious nature of, there's a reason why Hollywood's named Hollywood, and you should look that up. That's free.
I think we all know.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody watching right now knows. Everybody watching in 4 years might not know.
Look it up if you don't.
As if YouTube's going to be around in 4 years. YouTube's just going to be nothing but like, Nike commercials and Cardi B videos.
Dude, it would be awesome but still, I mean, I hate you, YouTube, by the way.
Yeah.
But I want one of your plaques. I do. I want to brag.
Yeah. Now, here's the question though. When you get one of those plaques, because Nick will, Nick's not, his VPN or his ISPN is not like, or his ISP isn't shadow banned like mine is. So like,
I don't know.
And Nick puts really good content out with his Travelers League stuff. He's got it dialed in. When you get one of those plaques, are you going to mount it? Are you going to like keep it, or are you going to take it to the range?
Take it to the range. You know what I'm gonna do?
Make a
When
video
I
of
get
it.
the first plaque, I'm gonna mount it till the second plaque comes in, and I will take previously received and mounted plaques to the range. I'll always have one to mount.
Okay. Yeah.
My
You want to have
my
one
vanity will not
golden
allow
calf
otherwise.
in your in your tribe of Israel. Who was the guy who like let the it wasn't Joseph. Was it Joseph?
What?
Who let the Israelites have the golden calf when Moses was away?
Oh, Aaron.
Aaron.
Yeah,
Aaron.
Moses'
That's
brother.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That guy.
By the way, Moses' brother, who was like, the talker, the people person.
Yeah, he was the mouth.
The marketer, the one good at like getting the word out there.
Great, I'm Aaron.
Yeah,
It's great.
there's no way I'm Moses.
I'm gonna die in the wilderness is what that means. I'm gonna die in the wilderness.
Did he die in the wilderness?
Aaron did, yeah.
Moses did too. He didn't get to see the promised land.
Did he die though? Well, yeah, he died. Yeah, no, he died. The Bible says he died. They just don't know where. He just walked
that's
off
right.
to be with God. And
Well, there's that story. I don't know if it's a Catholic thing or if it's a Greek Orthodox thing. I don't know exactly what subset of Christianity it is, but there's a story, and I never got to like explore it. I always wanted to, where apparently Satan and Michael battle over the body of Moses.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nah, that's cool.
Kind of. Yeah.
It's probably an Orthodox thing. I don't. That's not a Catholic. That doesn't sound Catholic.
It sounds Greek Orthodox.
It does. Yeah.
Greek Orthodox is really cool.
I know.
Greek Orthodox and Coptic Christian are two subsets, and they're very similar to each other. I think Coptic Christian takes a lot from the Byzantine sort of model of Greek Orthodox, but like they're very cool, beautiful like subsets of. I don't know too much about their theologies, but I mean they're not, they're not like that far out there. They're not, like Jehovah's Witnesses are pretty far out there. Mormons are kind of out there as far as like Christian, how they're aligned with normal Christianity, but like Greek Orthodox and Coptic Christian, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's weird what the church has to do after it wasn't persecuted anymore. It had to totally change its game.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah.
That's where the trouble started.
Yeah,
and it's not going to matter soon. We're all going to be persecuted again.
Yeah,
it's coming.
It's coming.
It's
baby.
coming.
It's going to be such a slow boiling the frog in the pot.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it just I keep up with firearms news and the stuff that they're trying to do. Meanwhile, at the same time, I'm reading Unintended Consequences by John Ross, which is like an 800-page. It is the Gulag archipelago of gun culture. It is like Jordan Peterson describes the Gulag archipelago as like 200,000 pages or whatever, 2,000 pages of just a man screaming about the injustice of, communism and about the existential crisis that he says. Unintended Consequences is that, but for gun culture and the death of gun culture at the hands of tyranny, modern day, And it's an 800-page book.
Can you get it on Amazon?
You can find maybe a used copy.
Yeah.
A used copy will run you like $200.
Yeah.
It's a naughty book. It's a no-no book. It's a book that you're not supposed to.
Yeah.
No publisher, like they won't publish it anymore. It's been banned. But I'm like halfway through it, and I'm starting to get to that phase in the story where it starts to show what happens, and it is, man. It's death by 1,000 cuts.
Yeah, it's coming.
It is.
It's coming.
And the sad thing is, by the time we in the middle class in America recognize it,
It'll be too late.
it'll be too.
Yeah, there's nothing we can do.
We will be too. We are so wrapped up in our own placidity, of mortgage, responsibility, family, and jobs. You don't want to get fired from your job. Things are good. You can still barbecue in your backyard. You can still own your little pew. You can, but I'm telling you, man, like it'll happen inch by inch. Jordan Peterson talks about that. He says, the way communism works is the way leftism really works. The way Democrats tend to work is they get right here. And then you say, hey, back off, and then they go, oh, I'm sorry. And they back off here. And then they get right here. And you say, back off. And they, oh, I'm sorry. And they get right here. But it's always moving just a little bit closer and then backing off, like, whoa, hey, okay, we can't do that.
Yeah.
But we'll get as close as we can. And the next time we'll get way close.
Yeah.
And then, oh, I'm sorry, we can't get that close, you know. So.
Well, I have that Destiny trailer queued up. You want to watch it?
Yeah, let's watch the Destiny. Adam, you want to watch that Destiny trailer? How cool is that? Yeah. I would love a YouTube play button.
I want a YouTube play button, man. I do.
Yeah.
I won't lie.
Dude, Adam, you keep up like what you did for us, and you'll have between you and D.
Oh, you'll have one way before me.
Gosh, dude.
For real. Well, let me
let's
go
see.
back here. Hello.
I think look up a Destiny trailer, Law of the Jungle.
Hold on a second. Let me
Oh, is
close,
it a little
let
frozen?
me close this one. Where's my other one? Where's my other screen? I don't know where it's at. What's going on here?
Stand by while the Gosslings is experiencing technical difficulties.
Works.
Well,
let me go back. Well, that's not it.
her name was Lola. She was a dancer.
There we go. Here we go. This is us. This is me. Okay, we're back. Okay. We're going to do this. We're going to do this.
Copacabana.
Destiny. Sorry about the...
I'm a writer, not a singer, but I like DC talk. Dude, I've been listening to DC talk. I've been listening to their hit, their single or their like hit singles compilation, Supernatural. That's a great album. You know, though, I noticed that they don't have the song "What Have We Become" on it, which has a great thing about anti-abortion.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm interested already. Look at that. Okay, here we
I
go.
forgot how good those guys are.
Here we go. Ready, guys? Destiny trailer.
Is that the one though?
I don't know. I've never
Okay.
seen it.
We'll find out.
You tell me, and we can find a different one here. We need to. This
that's
is not it. Not it.
No.
Hold on.
Look up
Stand by.
Look up Destiny trailer, Law of the Jungle.
All right, Destiny trailer. Law.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. How about that?
This is so beautiful.
Okay, here we go. This one? This guy right here?
I think so. Yeah,
It's a
that's
long
probably.
one. All right, here we go, guys. Here we go. Stand by.
Yeah, that's the one.
This is it.
This is like looking in two mirrors. Just.
Pay attention, son. This is the part of the story that's really important.
Oh, yeah, there he is.
Yes.
Now, this.
Yeah, cool.
Well, we're streaming. Welcome to as much internet as I can afford here in
Can you
Spring Hill,
watch?
Tennessee.
Can you watch a movie or can you watch a YouTube video while you stream? What if we expand it and we eliminate our?
Yeah, let's try
What if we just
let's
do
full screen?
maybe?
Let's try this. Hold on. Stand by, everyone.
It's only 1 minute and 28 seconds. You think it could buffer on its own?
Let me go back.
Yeah, go back and see if
Let me go back.
see if this stupid.
Oh, look,
thing
it's
buffers.
loading. Look, all that's loading. Look at all that. All right, here we go.
We're loading. We're loading. And we're,
So, play.
and we're walking. We're walking. We're walking.
You know what it is, guys? I think there are a lot of people watching this trailer right now.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Guys, trailer's so great. You know what? Even if we can't get this to work, you
It's
just gotta,
sublime. Look at it.
dude. You just gotta look it up yourself. It's so.
Anyway,
It's so
we tried.
beautiful.
I'm done.
God,
I
it
can't.
didn't
It's
work.
just gonna keep doing that. I bet you that, running through my, my internet here right now, probably this live stream, the trailer we tried to watch, and at least 3 other human beings with their own devices streaming something.
Oh right, yeah.
So that's just
You want to like make the rounds about everybody.
Yeah.
Turn off all your phones.
Stop watching the movie.
2 minutes. Pause it for 2 minutes. It's a 2 minute timeout. Flag on the field.
Hold on.
Live streaming. Flag on the field.
I'm gonna do Destiny trailer. Hold on. I'm gonna click on it again. And I'm going to just put the link.
You know what? Back out of that because that's PlayStation Australia.
Oh, is that why?
Yeah, back out of that.
Oh, okay.
Go to the first thing that actually comes up down there, not the
This guy
videos.
right here?
Yeah, click on that guy.
Let's see what this is.
That might work a little bit better.
Okay, we're gonna try this again then.
What are you doing on your phone?
And
We got-
I'm sorry, I left a gentleman.
You know what,
ad.
guys? And we're gonna mute it during the ad. You can't see this right now. You can still see us.
Can they hear us?
Yeah, they can hear us still.
Okay, good. Yeah, see, I bet that'll work. You know, Australia, you got like 2 cities and
Try
just
this again.
and just a bunch of desert. Yeah, but we got wallabies.
We got wallabies.
And we got pretty, what do they call girls in Australia?
I don't know.
Whatever. You got pretty wallabies?
Boys.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
I think Australian women are like manlier than like American
Oh,
men.
for sure. Oh, for
I
sure.
would, yeah. We remember that Australian girl that we knew who like did the record with Dad.
I don't remember.
They tried to set BJ up with her. Yeah. Oh well.
BJ would never willingly date someone tougher than him.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
My money's on Julie.
Here we go, guys. We're gonna try it now. Here we go. Here we go.
It's worth it. It's worth it.
There we go.
It's so worth it.
Oh,
Pay attention, son. This is the part of the story that's really important. Now, this is the law of the jungle, as old and as true as the sky. The wolf that shall keep it may prosper, but the wolf that shall break it must die. As the creeper that girdles the tree trunk. The law runs forward and back. For the strength of the pack is the wolf. And the strength of the wolf is the pack.
Oh,
dude.
God, it's so awesome. I love that
That's
so
pretty good.
much, man.
That's pretty good.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, that was good. He's great.
Dude.
You know he reads audiobooks.
He's got to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does. That's something you fall asleep to. You know what I fall asleep
I
to?
know. It's so beautiful.
You know who I fall asleep to every night?
Adam?
Every night. Adam. Yeah, for
Adam
sure.
Burrell.
He's great, and I totally could.
Adam, you're in my dreams.
I fall asleep to Chuck Missler
Adam's
every
like,
night. Chuck Missler.
Oh, Chucky. Oh,
Dude.
yeah, dude. Adam, do you know about Chuck Missler? I don't know if we've ever talked about him. Adam and I have been like talking about Warhammer 40K lately.
Oh man.
So, dude,
Chuck Missler.
yeah.
Dude.
Adam, if you don't know about Chuck Missler, I'll send you, or Nick will send you some videos.
Dude, yeah, let me know.
Yeah.
I'll send you all the links.
Oh my gosh. You know, he's like the elder statesman, cool grandpa of biblical esoterica.
Yeah, for sure.
You know?
Yep.
Chuck Missler was like, he was awesome. There's no one like Chuck Missler.
Never will be.
I mean, maybe like every 100 years. I
My
think,
grandpa was like Chuck Missler.
really?
Everyone's grandpa was like Chuck Missler.
He is. He's like, yeah, he was like granddad. He's like
Yeah.
everybody's grandpa.
Yeah.
He's cool grandpa who will tell you about why the moon landing didn't happen. You know what I mean? I mean, Chuck Missler never like said that, but he talks. But it's that kind of thing of like,
You know
all
what?
right, come
And I
on,
have
let's
to
go
say,
down to the fishing hole, and I'll tell you
No,
about
I'm
what
not-
really goes on.
I'm not.
And here's why.
I'm not a flat Earth guy, but I will say that I'm
Yeah.
not a we landed on the moon guy either.
Yeah.
Not 100%.
Yeah, I'm
not
with you.
100%. There are some
Mhm.
things that just make me really, really question
Yeah.
if that happened.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, look, there's a whole movie about it. You know,
I know.
it's called The Shining.
I know. Room 237.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, he's done
I
some work.
know.
I tell you who
The
else
Apollo
is
11 shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Mm-hmm. I know. Yeah. See, I know Adam.
I'll send you some links, Adam. I'll send you some links of Chuck Missler. He's
And the
great.
koala.
You'll like him.
I know, dude. Adam, that trailer is so awesome, isn't it? Like, I mean, you cried dad tears watching that trailer, even if you're not a dad. Like, it's such an awesome,
Yeah, it's great.
you know, it's just, it's perfect. There's like nothing that sucks about that trailer.
No.
You know, it's so evocative. Bungie's marketing department really knows what they're doing. I would love to get Rob McLeese, the artist, on. I got to talk to Jamie about that next time we talk. The artist for all the myth sketches. That would be really cool. Yeah, Nick will send you Adam.
I'm gonna put some out right now.
We should probably put some links for old Chucky.
I am. I'm gonna let's see what I can find here.
Because man, he's got so many. Koinonia
House.
Koinonia House.
Yep, Koinonia
It's
House.
Greek, so it defeats my Germanic tongue every time. But Koinonia House.
Oh yeah.
That's the name of their YouTube channel, right? But there's so many people who have mirrored his videos. Missler is spelled Missler.
Missler. Yep.
Yeah, so Chuck, if you just look up on YouTube, Chuck Missler, Missler. I tell you another one who's one of my favorites. He's not as venerable because he's like half his age, but I really like Rob Skiba.
Yeah, he's good.
Skiba. Rob Skiba deals a lot with that like Tower of Babel, Nimrod, Nephilim. He's obsessed with the Nephilim kind of thing.
I am putting it in.
Chuck is more scientific.
This live stream is going to the Gosslings Writers group right now on Facebook.
Yeah.
I'm putting the Koinonia House channel YouTube link.
Oh, cool.
In the comments of our video on the Goslings Writing Group.
Yeah.
So go in there or just go to YouTube and search Chuck Missler.
Yeah.
And he's got all kinds of stuff, man.
Adam, you're so right, man. Adam says, yeah, Bungie is so good. They get you hooked to their games and can't stop playing them. Adam, that's so true. Like, I only played a little bit of Destiny. I never owned it, so I never had a chance to like really get hooked on it. But I'll tell you, like, I'm not kidding you. I had an Xbox, an original Xbox, that only had the Halo CE disc in it, and I literally played that until the Xbox died, and I couldn't get the Halo disc out of it anymore. And I tried. This is like circa 2009. This is like after Halo 2. This is right before Halo 3. Like, I was still in my little single bedroom apartment. I tried getting that Halo disc out. Turns out the Xbox is built pretty tough.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't, like, I destroyed that thing trying to get that thing out.
Yeah.
I burned it up. And, like, because they understand how AI works. So, like, and Reach is like that, too. Halo CE and Halo Reach, and Halo 3 maybe, but really those two, they have really good enemy AI to where you can replay the same mission every time, and it's not gonna be the same, even if you're doing the same.
Yeah.
And that's like, man, they're genius. Myth was like that.
Yeah.
Dude, you could play Myth, and there's so many randomized events. Like if that Molotov cocktail from that dwarf goes out at the moment that it's supposed to hit those satchel charges, you're hosed.
Well, I'll tell you, this game is not quite as intuitive, but if you have an original Xbox and you do not own or have not played Sid Meier's Pirates, I can't be friends with you. I can't be friends with you at all. I was driving to church today. I haven't played Xbox forever. You know, we used to have it hooked up in here. My kids and I used to play, but we don't do it anymore.
Yeah.
And I was driving to church this morning with my family. It's Mother's Day. We're chatting, and all of a sudden, like this thing came over me.
Yeah.
Like I had this
I'm gonna go home and play
overwhelming, irresistible urge to play Sid Meier's Pirates.
I have heard.
We're losing battery. Hold on, let me stand by.
That's what's funny. I've heard Nick talk about.
We're rounding third base here. You know, we're rounding third base when the camera dies. All right, there we go. We got our backup. Face cam, potato. I've been
hearing you talk about Sid Meier's Pirates for like the better part of 20 years.
I know, God, dog it, it's a good game, man.
Here's the thing. That's how you know, like, Nick and I, like, if you're watching this and you're like, oh, cool, one of them wrote like a pirate book. Oh, well, okay. Listen,
pirate book.
Like, you don't understand. Like, some of us were so enthusiastic about like when Pirates of the Caribbean came out because it was like, finally,
yeah, it was great.
Somebody has done
Make a pirate movie. Yes,
dude, we're like hipster pirates. We were like,
and I love Johnny Depp. I don't care what anyone says.
He's great.
He's an awesome actor.
He's awesome.
Yeah.
They
didn't cast Johnny Depp to play a character that had already been. They didn't cast him to play like Long John Silver, right?
Right.
Like Mel Gibson, right? We went into Mel Gibson. He played William Wallace.
Yeah.
You know, an already established character from the past.
Yeah.
Johnny Depp didn't do that. Johnny Depp is Jack Sparrow. They created a character.
They created an icon.
He created a character.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah. I mean, like Nick and I
wasn't doing a version of something.
You remember when we sat around trying to figure out, like, you know, all the little things to like the Curse of Monkey Island?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That was not an easy game.
I remember like how your room was set up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I got, when I went on my senior trip to Jamaica, I got that steel drum.
Mm-hmm.
I got that steel drum. I told him I want on the last day of like our mission, my high school's senior trip, which was a vacation missions trip to Jamaica. We went to the market, the like big bazaar, and I told like 18 different people, like I want the biggest steel drum you got. And it's all because of Curse of Monkey Island.
You know what else you got me on that same trip?
That's right.
This.
Yeah.
This naughty stick.
Yeah. The spanker. Yeah.
You got me this in Jamaica. This is the hardest wood. It's a baton. It's like a police baton.
Yeah.
This thing would crush skulls. I keep it in here. I used to have it hanging on a nail in the garage before I put the bamboo up. And over the nail I wrote, ensuring domestic tranquility.
All right, what's going on here? What's going on? You there?
It's my bobby stick.
You there? Over here. That hair's looking a little long. What are you doing out?
Well, in case...
Adam, I'm sorry. I've had a little bit of bourbon, so please
that's what makes it
me.
Fun. I'm going to put...
Adam's like, oh,
I'm going to put this up. Subscribe if you're watching this, and you haven't subscribed to the Heavenly Realms channel, please do. And join the group on Facebook. Join the writers group on Facebook. Because I check Facebook way more than I check.
Maybe you should like
YouTube.
Join the group or
join
something.
The group.
Hey, maybe you should like subscribe, but maybe
Look,
like you get to find
don't
out.
Don't call
what
yourself a writer if you can't join a writers group.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah,
it has nothing to do with writing.
No.
Yeah, you got to be a part of a group to be a writer.
Yeah, yeah. Like join a group and get some calluses. No, the thing is, like, it is the blind leading the blind. But what it teaches you, it totally is. Pressfield talks about that. He's like,
yeah, I guess, yeah.
But here's the thing. But here's what it teaches you. It teaches you how to deal with criticism.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I will never forget the first time I ever submitted anything to the public. This is such a weird story. It was on the Halo. Actually, Adam, you'll find this funny. It was on the Halo fan fiction channel. Halopedia had a fan fiction page, and like all the stories were like written by like 14-year-olds, right? So like they're all crap,
right?
But then there's me, who's like 21, who's like writing Halo fan fiction and like taking it seriously, and like, but like the Halo novels were out at the time, so like there was a little bit of a presence.
It was a thing. It was a thing, and so I was using it as like craft building, honing, practice. It was dojo work, right? And so everybody thought it was great, and it was like, wow, this is amazing, this is so whatever, until one dude came along who started criticizing me. Oh no!
And then once he started criticizing me,
troll.
Yeah, everybody else started criticizing me, and it taught me a couple of very valuable things. One, I emailed Pressfield about it, and he was like, you know what, dude? If it's negative criticism, just like screw them, like whatever. They
just want to be heard criticizing,
right? And that wasn't the word he used, but yeah, he was like, just whatever, dude. Like disregard it. But the other thing it taught me was something about myself, which is like, you're a little hypersensitive. You're a little hypersensitive about your stuff, Jonathan. Maybe you should just like not get all bent out of shape if someone doesn't think you're the next Tolstoy, I mean, like, it's okay.
Yeah.
You're 21. Like, maybe you're not the best writer in the world yet, So,
I'm not nearly as good as I should be at 43. I've been doing it 3 years.
Whatever.
3 years is nothing.
Nick has
in a writer's career. It's nothing. I've only been writing for 3 years.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, Nick has covered more ground in 3 years than I did in 10. It's pretty impressive. But the thing about the Gosslings writers group that I really like is it's a community of people to come together. And like, just like Fringe Mythology, you share cool articles, you share each other's work.
Yeah.
It's also a repository for, this is kind of like what Taurus Necros provides. It's kind of like a repository for artists to come together and talk about, like, maybe somebody has a cover artist who's really cool. Somebody maybe has an editor recommendation. Mm-hmm. Like, it's a constructive group of, like, it's a support group. It's like,
absolutely.
Here, what's this?
Absolutely.
What do you have? I like my blart. Well, I like this person on Fiverr. You should give them a shot. Whatever. Mm-hmm. That kind of stuff really makes a difference.
Yeah.
Because being a writer is such a lonely, it's a loner's experience because you live inside your own head.
Yeah.
and it's isolating, and it has to be isolating in a way. Like you have to self-isolate in order to produce stuff. But so much of it is like herding grasshoppers or like herding cats, trying to get writers to like come together. That's why I've been in a writers group. You've never had the hell of being in a writers group before, like a physical writers group where you meet,
I went to one time.
Did you really?
Just one time.
Did you really?
Yeah.
When was this?
Yeah. Well, my manager is she's a writer, self-published writer. She's written some children's books. And and you know what? I got to give her credit because when my wife challenged me to write the timepiece, the story I was telling Christian, I started doing it, and I told my boss, my manager, because I knew she had already gone through this process, and she really encouraged me. Yeah, and
writers are encouraging. That's one really good thing about it.
And before it was KDP, it was called Create Space. Before it was called. And she goes, I use Create Space. She showed me the tool. She's like, you should do it. Send me something you wrote. And so I sent it to her, and she was the most encouraging person.
Yeah,
So and she's always encouraged me to keep going.
Yeah, to
keep writing. And so I got to give her a lot of credit. But I say that because, and her name is Rochelle, and she's wonderful, and I'm grateful. But she invited me to go to her writers group one day after work.
Yeah.
And I went to the writers group, and it was cool. It was really cool. They had like a guest speaker. I don't know. I don't remember who he was or what his book was or anything. But it was cool. I got to meet like the other people in the group. What I learned, my only takeaway, and this is horrible. My only takeaway was that when now I'm in sales. Okay, let me back up a little more. I'm in sales, and so I had gone to like sales group. Like there's like sales clubs of sales professionals that get together, and they have guest speakers come in and talk about how to sell.
Right.
So I'd gone to a couple of those
symposiums.
And when you go to a sales meeting, like everyone there is like in your face, extroverted, outgoing. Really, they're salespeople. You're in a room of car salesmen, essentially. Yeah, right. And that's how I felt because
actually gives me a stress headache just thinking about
it. But check this out. But listen to I went to these sales meeting, and I was like, oh my God, this is awful. I'm exhausted. These people are the most phony batch of loudmouth, blustering,
vapid,
blowhard people.
Shallow.
Oh my gosh, give me
like they're not smart enough to be real estate agents.
Yeah, exactly.
Which are people who are not smart enough to be lawyers.
Just so full of themselves, or in a weird way, pretending to be full of themselves.
Yeah.
And so I had that experience with her. She's my sales director. She's my manager.
Right.
But she's also a writer. And so we went to this writers group.
Yeah.
And I walked into a room, and it was all introverts, and no one would talk to each other. There was this icy cold, don't talk to me.
Oh, I've been there.
I don't know who you are. Yeah. And I was an introvert.
Yeah.
And you'd think I'd feel at home.
No,
I was like, where's the sales meeting? I want people that are going to at least pretend to be happy where they are.
Yeah.
And engage with me.
There's nothing worse than being in a room full of introverts.
Yeah, it is a vacuum.
Yeah, it really is.
It is a vacuum.
It's a negative. It's a black hole.
Yeah, at least extroverts are like projecting. Yeah. Even if it's fake, they're projecting.
They're giving you something to feed off of.
Yeah, exactly.
In a room full of introverts is just a bunch of people pulling on chains to keep themselves as far away as possible.
It was awful. And I was like, and it made me realize that being an introvert does this to people.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't realize that being introverted and keeping to myself and being quiet had that effect on other people, made them uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Until that meeting. So that was my only takeaway.
Yeah.
So I'm like, except for the leader of the group that was facilitating, he was outgoing and nice and,
Somebody's got to be, or God, it's like nothing gets done.
So I'm an introvert, and I administer the group on Facebook, and I will not be that guy. I will not be the introverted, cold. Like, I will interact with you.
Oh yeah,
I will engage with you. I will make you feel welcome because you are welcome.
Yeah,
we want you in the group.
Well, the great thing about a Facebook group for writers is there's no set meeting time.
No.
It's a come as you are, come when you want. It's here whenever you're ready. It's like a buffet.
Mm-hmm.
It's just there.
Yeah.
Whenever,
you know what I was thinking?
It may not be that good, but it's there. You might start using this for every live stream.
I was so we live in a town called Spring Hill, Tennessee, and
Yeah,
there
thanks.
is a local Spring Hill writers meetup. There's a writers group
Is
here in
there
Spring
really?
Hill. There is.
I do not want to go to that.
Well, check this out.
Have you been?
So I'm on their group on Facebook, right?
Oh, okay. Okay.
And I thought, man, I got this space.
Yeah.
You know? And in 2020, they didn't meet at all.
Oh, sure. Right.
You know, and
That's fair.
I was like, I was thinking about reaching out to them and say, hey, I actually did reach out to them and say, hey, have you guys actually physically gotten together recently, or you? And they're like, no, we haven't because of COVID. And I was going to offer them this space.
Yeah.
I do a men's Bible study here.
You're right.
Yeah. We do our thing here.
Yeah.
And I thought, man, maybe another, every few weeks get the Spring Hills Writers Group together here.
Yeah.
And I couldn't offer it to him because like every other post was like all about masks and COVID fear and all this political correct
Yeah, dude. But that's the thing.
stuff. It's like it's just populated by all of the liberals in the town.
Yeah.
And
All the artsy
I'm very
ones.
disappointed. Yeah. Just keep it about writing.
But that is what they're writing about. They're all writing the next version of Outbreak
I probably.
or Contagion.
I was thinking
Contagion
about
is, I
like,
guess,
we
the
can have the
new
writers
version.
group here. Jonathan come over. We can all talk, and then they can all look down our nose. They can all look down their nose at us for being
Right.
self-published, even though
Right.
they're traditionally published, but they haven't published anything.
Right. Yeah. They're still
That's
trying.
true.
They're holding out.
Yeah.
He's holding out for a management position.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's for all you vacation fans out there.
It's kind of like when I went to the Tennessee Writers Workshop year before last.
Oh yeah.
I went to that.
You did
and-
learn a lot from that.
Oh
though.
man,
You
it
learned
was awesome,
right?
dude. Yeah, I learned about story structure and character development and all sorts of things. But it was really geared to a lot of the sessions were really geared towards people who want to be traditionally published and how to approach a literary agents and how to pitch your work and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't go to any of those. I went to all the other stuff that I could use in self-publishing.
Yeah.
While I was there, during lunch, I went to the little restaurant in the hotel and I was eating lunch, and the lady sitting in the booth next to me, God bless her, and she struck up a conversation. And
The poor child. She's just looking flint for fuel.
yeah,
you know?
and I'm like, yeah, I live here. I live in Spring Hill, and I wrote some children's books. She goes, I thought I recognized you. Were you in that? There was
The paper.
the paper. I had like
Yeah.
one thing in the local
That's
small
pretty
town
dope.
newspaper one
Yeah.
time, and I'm self-published.
Yeah.
And she saw it, and she's like, oh, you're the guy who did the kids' books.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. Oh, man, that's you just blah, 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 blah. And she started talking about how great that was and how do you get published? I said, well, I'm self-published.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like crickets for a second. I said, well, tell me about what are you doing? She's been working on her manuscript for over 10 years and she's still debating traditional published, self-published. She's not sure. She keeps picking at it and just doesn't. And she's going to the conferences. She's in the writers groups.
Oh, yeah.
She's doing all the things, but she's too afraid to get her stuff out there.
Really?
Yeah.
What's the point?
Thank you. I don't know. I mean, get your stuff out, and I'm not saying that to brag. It's just like, I put my stuff out there and it might be junk to some people, but
Yeah.
there are a lot of kids that really like it. It's just
Yeah. Well, and that's the other thing too. Like, and that is an important thing. So, who was it? Tim LaHaye told me, grow thick skin, right? And I kind of always, in a way, I had already realized that because long before Amazon happened, long before KDP, long before Adam, long before Nick, back in the mid 2000s, I had tried to get published twice.
Yeah.
Traditionally, this is back for any of you youngsters, for any of you whippersnappers watching this, up until about probably 4 years ago. When did KDP really take off? Was it 4 years ago? 4 or 5 years ago?
It was about KDP took off about 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Fully.
Okay.
Yeah, because Create Space up until about two and a half years ago, it was all Create Space, and then they did a slow phase in of KDP,
Oh, okay.
and they just
or
last
Amazon
year-
self-publishing thing.
Yeah,
Amazon's-
that was called Create Space, and they officially shut that down in at the end of 2019.
Okay, so that's been around for like maybe 3 years max, right?
Yeah.
When I was first trying to get published, I tried to get published in 2004, 2004-ish, and then again in 2008. And back then you could still self-publish, but it was just pure vanity. And it was also the death knell to your publishing because no publisher would want to touch you, you know? And so you
can come here.
So
someone was sneaking in the garage.
No, the door's closed.
Right.
So the thing is, none of this, the world looked very different back then. And I'll tell you, before all of this, like, that's crazy to hear that from, about that person.
Yeah.
Because I'm not joking. I'm not exaggerating when I say I had bricks. I had 2 bricks. You could clock me on either side of my head with them of rejection letters. 2 bricks. There used to be a book that you could get on Amazon or at Borders back when Borders was open. This is how far back this is. Called Writer's Digest, and it was a yearly publication. May have actually been a quarterly, but I always got the yearly version, and it would have a list of every agent and editor in the back, like a phone book. And I sent like query letters, and each one was different. Like sometimes you'd have to send sample chapters, sometimes they wanted a synopsis, sometimes they wanted an outline. All of these things are different, right? And so, like, I went through the motions and sent Heavenly Realms, Empyrean Falling. Back then, it wasn't even called Empyrean Falling. It was just called The War for the Throne, to every single. So, like, I've done that. And, dude, I have met the face of rejection.
Yeah.
Hardcore. And it sucks, man. It really sucks. When you pour your heart and soul into something, I get it. But at the same time, it's like, why train if you're not going to play? I mean, why? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, why?
It's a good point. It's a good perspective.
Why train if you're not going to get out on the court? Like, get in the game. And rejection is going to happen, And, like, I'll be honest, Tim LaHaye had some really stupid, crappy advice, But Tim LaHaye also had some really, really good advice, Because, like, you have to choose whether you want passion or a paycheck. And those can overlap. You can get paid for your passion, and you can find passion in your paycheck. I mean, whatever. But you really have to choose what kind of a writer you want to be, and that's going to determine how emotionally invested you are in your own failure, And man, you can't. That chick must live in a hell. Yeah. Because, dude, it felt okay. I mean, it sucked. It felt really demoralizing and really crappy. I felt like I had wasted my life, being rejected. But at the same time, I felt cleansed because it's like, well, I've done everything I could. I can't imagine pouring the better part of a decade into writing a series of novels and being so hamstrung by fear that I can't even bring myself to venture rejection, to risk rejection. Yeah, that sucks, man. Don't do that. It's just rejection. And the thing is, with Amazon KDP, like, dude, I don't even know how publishers are making it nowadays. They got to be folding left and right.
Yeah.
I mean, how long is it before it's like Doubleday and Penguin? Yeah.
Simon and Schuster.
Yeah, because why?
Yeah. Scholastic.
Aside from the paperback market, or the only thing I can think of is overseas distribution. Maybe there's some other countries, that have massive paperback markets, airports, grocery stores, Walgreens.
No. I mean,
or movie rights.
3 years. Yeah, movie rights are a big deal. 3 years ago, 85% of every book purchased on the planet was through Amazon.
Yeah.
85%. That's just 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Everything is digital now.
Yeah.
With the exception of children's books, which is largely majority print.
Yeah.
And the traditional publishers really do have a good stranglehold on that market.
Yeah.
But I'm going to change that.
Yeah. If anybody can, it's.
But I'm saying if you're self-published, you can publish on Amazon.
Yeah.
And that's where people are buying books. It's where they purchase audiobooks through Audible generally. Mm-hmm. And you can go wide, you can go exclusive, it doesn't matter. But that's where people are buying books because it's easy. Amazon has made purchasing and shipping easy and painless.
Yeah.
and so that has to be, a part of your plan. Right now, it's pretty much the only part of my plan is to have them available through Amazon, and most of them are exclusive. But to go traditional, you might get, they'll pay you based on number of copies sold to retail companies.
Yeah,
that's what you're paid on. You're not paid on copies sold to readers.
right.
You're paid on copies sold and distributed.
The gun world works the same way.
And you're not. It's not about who's reading the books. It's about the bookstores buying them.
The
And,
bookstores buying them. Right?
Yeah, and with self-publishing, it's direct to the reader.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a huge advantage. Plus, you still have to, even if you're traditionally published, Pressfield's a great example. You still have to do your own promotion.
Yeah.
And marketing.
And man, and honestly, like that, in a weird way, that speaks to the power of the independent author. Because, and that's nothing against like Pressfield's publisher, but I genuinely thought that blitzkrieg that Stephen Pressfield had on Instagram with all the marketing he was doing, I genuinely thought that was like CAA or some major marketing.
Oh yeah, I didn't.
It's just Diana.
Yeah, it's just him and Diana.
It's him and Diana.
Yeah, doing the work.
She's killer.
Yeah, she's awesome.
I mean, like just the amount of
Diana's
stuff
his wife.
Yeah, or his girlfriend.
Girlfriend,
maybe.
yeah. I don't know. Significant other.
Yeah, his muse. I mean, like if ever there was a more appropriate name for a girlfriend for Stephen Pressfield, it's Diana.
I know, right?
Yeah, his Aegis.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's awesome. She's such a sweetheart. She's super cool. I got to send her an email. I've been like laying low, just letting him kind of, I didn't want to bug him, but I'm probably gonna send him an email next week about trying to schedule. But
we'll get there.
But it's just her doing all that stuff. If you go to Pressfield's, go to Stephen Pressfield's Twitter or his Instagram or his YouTube, that's not a marketing company showing up with a film crew doing that. That's Diana. Now, maybe she hired a film crew. Maybe she has connections. Who knows? I don't know. But like, that's that's a civilian. Yeah. That's not a soldier in the game. I mean, it's crazy to think about what one single person could do. It begs the question, by the way, real quick, we'll get caught up. Dee says that she has 3,526 hours in Destiny 2 and over 3,000 hours in Destiny 1. That's pretty awesome. And Adam has played Pirates. You two need to talk about Pirates. Yeah.
Isn't it funny when you just gravitate towards a person, and later on, months later, you discover that
they love all the same things.
Yeah, you love all the same obscure things.
Yeah, it's like that. It's like the opposite of that.
Adam, you're awesome, man.
I know. Like it's that
we
Mr.
could have so much fun.
Well, Adam, I knew that like Adam was cool when he knew what myth was.
Yeah,
that was like that's how I knew. And from then, it's just been an avalanche.
Yeah,
of like wait. So, like, have you ever played Thief? He's like, oh, yeah, I love Thief. I'm like, oh, my gosh.
Adam's great. He's like,
Adam, you like Warhammer 40K? He's like, yeah, the Blood Ravens are my favorite. I'm like, I have no idea who the Blood Ravens are. Tell me all about them, Adam. Yeah.
We're nothing compared to Adam Burrell.
I know. Yeah. I mean,
he's been there. He's done that. He knows. Like, he's way ahead of us.
Yeah. And his bread is killer.
And his bread's killer.
I genuinely have been, like, jonesing for bread ever since I've seen Adam's pictures from his bakery. Man. It's pretty rad. So,
well, man, anything else before we wrap it up?
No. Let's see. I gotta send out an email at some point about like getting set up at the Pressfield interview. I'm giving him time, so that'll probably in the next week, maybe, or maybe a week from today, maybe next Sunday, because I think we had kind of established that like early to mid-May, late April, early May-ish, so
it's fine. I'm whenever.
Yeah, whenever, it's no big deal.
May,
and he
June,
probably honestly has a bunch of other 30-minute interviews to work.
The last thing we want to be is a fly buzzing around his head.
Right. That's one thing I've been very.
Can we interview you now?
Yeah. When can we interview?
Do it when he's rested and open to it.
Yeah,
it'll be a great
looking
conversation.
forward to it.
Yeah, for sure.
Because, dude, it's like you want to go meet Muhammad on the mountain.
Yeah.
You want to go meet the wizard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to meet the wizard. Yeah. How many flying monkeys I got to kill? Get that wizard because I got my stick. Adam approved of my impression, by the way, so I feel all right.
Yeah, I'm going to whack all of those flying monkeys.
Well, we don't have anything
Single
left. We're coming up on 7 o'clock our time.
Yeah,
so we'll wrap it up.
We got to
Our battery died.
this. So I'm gonna do an announcement video probably tomorrow about this. Once I figure it out, I got to talk about it tonight with a very special person who maybe knows a little bit about marketing. Not
me,
not him, but someone he's connected to.
Yeah.
You know. So, but in the meantime, this is on taurusnecros.com. This is the special edition for Empyrean Falling. This is beautiful. No dust jacket.
Yep, we don't do
Pretty
dust
cool.
jackets here.
We don't do dust. And you know what? I didn't tell him that. He just that was just a beautiful synchronicity on his part. Map on the back, which is awesome. I've had so many people ask me for a map. It's insane. I'm working on like an insert map to do at some point, but this is really good. He did a really good job of this. The description is perfect. He knew how to edit the description. Custom cover. It's $30 and it's worth every penny. This is really cool. If you're into the Heavenly Realm series, I think you'd really enjoy this. If you want to support small publishers, this is definitely something to get. You can get it from taurusnecros.com. Taurus Necros is spelled Necrus. I'll put the link in the description so you can see it. But only 25 copies of these were printed, and I'm sure Nate is keeping one. I'm keeping one, and then I'm gonna order another one so that I can try and get it in a library here in Spring Hill. So I imagine at most, honestly, you're maybe looking at 21 to 22 copies of this total. And there's something really cool about this. That's all we did, and the contract is good for a year. So we might do a second run if the first run sells out, but there might only ever be 25 copies of this in existence, which makes this really kind of cool. So tons of extra chapters, some deleted material, plus some new material that I made specifically just for this. I expanded upon Tempest in this, along with some other characters. It's neat. I'm really impressed by how this turned out. And I mean, this is like a real feather in the cap. This is pretty cool. So taurusnecros.com, $30. I'm going to do a contest. I'll figure it out tonight and announce the video probably tomorrow. And then that's it for now. Adam is working on Wayfarers. Adam Narrates is Adam's YouTube channel. Adam narrates, and he has an amazing YouTube channel where he's just uploaded those sneak peek videos. You guys should really go listen to them. They're each one chapter, so mine's pretty long because, of course, you can't shut me up. I'm like the Kevin Smith of Christian war fiction. And Nick's chapter is blissfully shorter and much cooler because it's action oriented. Mine's just like a bunch of talking.
It's an action chapter for kids.
Yeah, but Adam, man, his production value is killer.
Yes,
you owe it to yourself.
That's awesome.
Your Travelers League channel.
Yep, Travelers League on Facebook. Just search Travelers League.
Yeah.
You can go to Nick Gus Rice on Instagram, and of course on YouTube. Just again, Travelers League, and you'll see all the fun videos my kids make.
Yeah.
There as well. And should be we'll be getting some more audio samples actually on the Travelers League channel.
Oh, really?
The first two books, yeah.
Oh, sweet.
This is part of the plan now. Yeah,
I was
because
so
Adam did the narration for all the books except 1 and 2.
Oh yeah.
And so we're gonna work at an arrangement where we can get at least those on YouTube for people to understand and enjoy.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah. And it's going to be great. It's going to be great. So, but if you go to Travelers League channel right now, you can see a bunch of fun videos that my kids and I put together.
Yeah.
Us having a great time.
It's cute.
And that's it, really.
You run the Fringe Mythology page.
Yeah, Fringe Mythology. I administer the Gosslings Writers Group on Facebook. And that's about it. And
we really encourage you, if you're watching this, to support the Audible section of this, because Adam does a lot of work for us and he works really hard. And I kind of want to put this on a t-shirt too. We don't deserve him, but we'll take him.
Yeah.
So it's so true. If you want a version of the books, if I had to choose, for the sake of the good of the tribe at this point, for the Gosslings, I would have to say get the Audible version. Support ACX, support Adam, because we got to sell those copies, man.
Yeah.
I mean, Adam's gonna stick with us no matter what because he's sterling in his character, But like, let's not like make it hard for him.
Yeah.
Like, the dude is awesome.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, man. Subscribe to this channel.
Yep.
I'm on Instagram, author J Goss. He's on Instagram, Nick Goss Writes. So you can follow us there. Instagram is the best place to probably get a lot of updates for me. We do this every week. So all of you who are watching this currently, you're all regulars. We know.
Yep.
So all the lurkers. Anyways, we got Mexican we got to eat.
Yeah, we got to eat some Mexican food.
I got
take my wife to our favorite Mexican restaurant for
I gotta
Mother's
clean
Day.
up his mess because like last week, like the cute little waitress misunderstood what he was saying, and I think she got a little feelers hurt. So
but you notice when she did, she sat down next to you.
Well, that's because I went like that.
Yeah, but she was willing to.
Yeah, she did.
I'm helping you. Trust me. I'm your wingman. I know what I'm doing.
You're like me with married guys. I always tell married guys, I'm like, look, if you're having trouble with your old lady, just invite me over because I'll make you look good.
Exactly.
I'll make you look good.
Exactly.
I'll talk about Antifa.
That's what I should do tonight. If she
Right.
saunters over,
It's like good cop, bad cop.
I'll start talking about like Bigfoot and Dogman and aliens.
You know what?
And
I'll tell you right now, if she was like, yeah, I know aliens and demons, be like, you will get married like right now.
We'll test the waters tonight.
Yeah,
We'll test the waters tonight.
All right, guys. I'm Jonathan.
I'm Nick.
We're the Gosslings. Thank you for watching us. One day we'll get this down to an hour, but it's not going to be this week.
Not this week.
Not today. Not today. Adam,
See you later.
love you, bud.
See you, buddy.
D, see ya. Have a